Hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the 38th Comic Art Live program. This one hits a little different because I've been gone for 10 days, as everyone knows. It's been a very fun vacation for me, and before I even get started today, I wanted to make sure that I thank four very special people who took care of the channel in my absence. I have to thank Dino and James, Khalil, and of course, Mikhail for standing in and helping out and running some programming for me while I was away. Couldn't have asked for a better group of guys to take care of everything for me, and I really appreciate it. And the thing is, all four of these guys are really people whom I've really met since we started the Comic Art Live channel, and it's just been a phenomenal year plus that we've been doing these shows, and I can't tell you how grateful I am to have had made so many close friends that have helped me through this period, through the rough spots and and all the fun things we've been able to do together. But definitely having people step in for me while I was away meant a great deal. And yeah, it's very good to be back, everyone. Jeff and Bootlegging and Mr. Easy Go Lucky. It's nice to see all your names in here. James and Ron and Larry. So tonight we're going to do the Heritage Auction recap that we weren't able to do last week because I was gone. Normally we would do those the Tuesday after a signature auction, but with my being out of town, that wasn't going to be possible. So, yep. Hey, James, thank you for last Thursday. I do appreciate it. I still haven't watched the rest of your show. I kind of got through the first third of it. I promise I will get through it as soon as I possibly can. I did have a great, just so everybody knows, I had a wonderful vacation. It was absolutely phenomenal. The girls and I had a great time in Key West. And then I was joined by the rest of my family when we got to Orlando on Thursday. And we spent a couple days at Universal, just bummed around, really enjoyed it. I don't have the tan I was expecting to have, but I've already peeled and everything because we Ohioans don't tan very well. But we had a very great time. And I know, see David Barr saying, where's the tan? It's absolutely true. My nose is still a little red, but yeah, that's about it. All right. I guess I'll wait and watch that later, James. So anyway, so we're doing the Heritage Auction recap. And I didn't tell you who we've got some changes. And before I even get started, I want to let you know that we want, with the whole year plus that we've been doing this, and you knew I wanted to do some rethinking of how we were going to do a few things differently on the channel. And I haven't really got it all formulated, but I'll definitely talk about those overall changes that I want to do on Friday when I do the CAF update. For the next couple of weeks, we're going to stick to the same schedule that I've always been on. And just kind of because I've got 2 interviews scheduled per week through the middle of July. So everything's going to be pretty much normal. But on Friday, we can talk a little bit about how I want to adjust my schedule a little bit so I'm not so crazy. And we'll go from there. But as far as tonight goes, we are swapping out a couple of our panelists for the recaps. And we're going to see how this one works out. Will and Glenn are off for the time being. They gave an incredible year plus working with me on these, especially the recaps. Their knowledge was completely indispensable. And we couldn't have done all the cool things that we've been able to do and just the knowledge that they've been able to share through that. But one of the things that always kept coming up during these recaps was, we were missing bits of knowledge, right? That most that all the guys didn't really all have. And one of the things that I kept thinking about in the back of my mind was, I want to bring a collector onto this thing. How do we do that? How do we bring a collector who's an active buyer and can talk about pretty much the breadth of things that are out there too? So when I started thinking about it before we left, we came up with, I wanted to have Mike on the show because, he and I have done so many things together. But so Mike and I were talking, I'm like, who can we get that would be another dealer and a great collector to have in here who'd be willing to talk about comic art like all the dealers would. And so we are going to have both Nick Barucci. I'm bringing Nick in right now. Hey, Nick, how are you?
Hey, everybody.
Yes, thank you, Nick. I'm so glad that you were able to, you wanted to do this because I think it'll be a lot of fun. As far as having a collector on the show goes, I think you're perfect. And I don't know why I didn't think of it first. Mike's like, we should bring Nick on. And I thought, wow, I'm stupid for not thinking, because, as far as the collector goes, you've been collecting for such a long time. You're one of the most engaged buyers in the hobby that I know. And your knowledge of the creators and the titles and your experience in the industry for like the modern side of stuff is, indispensable. So you should have been at the top of my list, but my list was blank until Mike said, let's get Nick. So
thank you. That's really, really kind. And, you've got Albert and Mike, two experts, and, Will and Glenn were great. And I just hope I don't drag you down. By the way, everybody, if I do a terrible job, still hit like because Bill and Mike are great. I'll just get moving and never come back. Okay. So
it's going to be really weird not seeing you in the comments section now, Nick.
I'm going to try my best. I'm going to get the other computer.
And so Nick let the cat out of the bag. The other dealer who's going to be joining us probably by 9:30 is Albert Moy.
This is why you should never tell me any secrets.
It's all right. It's not a problem. I mean, I probably should have said it before I brought you on, but yes, Albert is going to be joining us, but he had a dinner engagement that is running long this evening. So hopefully when he connects, even though we won't have a chance to test his mic and everything, hopefully it all will work well. But yes, Albert's going to be the other panelist this evening, and we're going to see how it goes. I think that both Nick and Albert bring a very different set of knowledge to this that we haven't had before, and we're just going to play it by ear. I want to try to change a few things for this second year of the channel and just give things different tries. So so when Albert does show up, we don't need to razz him because he's late. He is going to be happy to be here. I guarantee it.
Guess what? I figured it out.
Yes.
Albert's not really out at a late dinner.
Oh no.
He wants to see how bad of a job I do. If I'm adequate, he'll come on.
Well, you know what?
If I'm dragging the whole thing down, all of a sudden that late dinner got later.
Well, surprise, surprise. Albert is in the house. Hey, Albert.
Wow.
Albert, what's up, baby?
Oh, we don't have audio.
He's got audio.
Let's hear you.
Hear me?
I think. Okay, yes, now we can hear you. Yeah, it wasn't. It looked like you were muted for a second there, Albert.
Hey, Bill, I was going to tell them, like Liam Neeson said, they have a particular set of skills.
Yeah, they have, yes, exactly. All three of you guys do. So before we get started today, and so Albert, thank you for taking the time. You cut your dinner short this evening, so
yes,
so you could come in and hang out with us. I appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
Now I can leave. Bye, guys.
But hey, before we get started on this, what's that?
Hey, way to advertise, Nick. All right.
All right. Well, your audio might be a little slow tonight, Albert, but I'm sure it's going to catch up. You're using your iPad this evening, right?
I am using my iPad. Sorry.
No, it's actually
Audio's
getting better. Yep,
it's getting better.
It's caught up, I think. So that's good.
My question is, what is a Migtainment? I don't know what a Migtainment is.
What's that?
I'm looking at a Migtainment at the top.
I don't know.
Oh, dynamite.
I'm like, what the heck are you talking
You
about?
had to cut off. I was just joking with you, Nick.
There we go. A little bit more dynamite.
All right.
Who's advertising?
Exactly. That's what Albert was saying. He was saying I was doing a terrible job advertising. Now I'm doing a better one.
Yeah, where's your banner, Albert? Come on, man.
I said, all I see is some Windex.
A Windex.
All right.
Albert don't need no stinking advertising. He's Albert Moy. Albert, listen, remember his motto, God art. That's all you need to know.
That's right.
Very, very true. All right. Let's see. So, and Albert knows, which is why we have Albert here this evening. So,
yes.
All right. So, hey, I put together a couple of slides. They're not as good as Dino would normally do, but they're just some stats. And I know I've got some echo here. I don't know. I have a weird feeling it's you, Mike, believe it or not, if your audio is really loud.
I'll turn my volume down.
Yeah, I think you should turn it down just a little bit because both Albert and Nick were echoing, which makes me think it's all right. I think that's better. All right, so let me show you a couple of slides here because obviously, well, we could start off just by saying obviously this particular Heritage Signature Auction was record-setting in lots of different ways. Just the total sales for that signature auction were higher than any that they've had before, and then just the overall event of the auction was dollar-wise was higher than anything they've had before. So that's kind of I mean, it wasn't surprising because I think that there was a lot of great pieces in there. But I'm going to show a couple different slides that go over really just the last 12 months of Heritage Signature Auction. So this particular one just was finished with just under $8 million in original comic art sales from 715 lots. And as that compares to April, which April for me was really the first signature auction that they held where we've been seeing the change in pricing. And there were only 550 lots in that particular auction. And you can see the average price per lot is actually about the same. It's just such a dramatic, 160 more auctions in the June auction versus the April auction is what produced the 8 million in sales versus the 6 million in sales in April, because the price per lot is negligible. We're talking less than $200 per lot. So it was in part due to the volume that made this June auction so successful. But looking over the last, and so this is a year's worth of signature auctions, Heritage did have 6 during that period. You could just tell by the average price per lot that everything really changed after January. And and I think we've all seen that the sales for original comic art really began spiking in February, and these numbers bear that out. But certainly it was a higher overall auction than I was kind of expecting. But again, in the market today, it doesn't surprise me in the least. And I did include the 2 international signature auctions in this particular kind of slide, just to go over to show the fact that they've had 33.7 million in overall original art sales through the signature auctions in the last 12 months, which I don't have the full figures prior to that, but this other slide is pretty telling that this is Heritage's overall sales from signature auctions and their weekly auctions. So since the first of the year through the end of this month, not counting tomorrow's Wednesday auction, which would be in there, Heritage has sold a total of $25.5 million in original comic art, with just over 9,000 lots in that, and for just under an average price of $2,800 per artwork. If you compare that to the 1st of January in 2020 through the end of June in 2020, that's they're up basically 5 million over that same period. And with the stats below that, so there's a 26% increase in overall sales, but a decrease in the overall lots by 13%. So the cost per sale is up 35% year over year from the 1st of January through the end of June. So the first 6 months of each year. And that's pretty much, I think, what we've all been seeing consistently in the market is a 35% increase, and sometimes 100% increase in sales of the choice material. And I included just those last 2 lines at the bottom just to kind of go, it's a year over year. So the last 12 months sales total for all Heritage artwork, original comic artwork auctions, 45.2 million in sales. Compared to that to the 12 months prior to that, 37.8. So, and in both those cases, it was about the same number of lots. So it's just, again, we're seeing that 25 to 35% increase in sales really began at the beginning of this year. So, and I know that you guys are seeing the same thing. It's just
well, if you look at your stats, Bill, if you go January to June, it's 50%.
Oh, you mean in that the first slide?
From 1,800 to 2,700, that's a 50% increase. I'm just saying, your stat from us, just the other screen right there. 1/1/20 to January 1st, 2020 to June 30th, 2020 to January of this year to June 30th, 1,800 per lot to 27, almost 2,800 per lot. That's a 50% increase.
Well, it's a 30. It's a 35. Yeah, 35%. I mean, but that's I think that's what we're all seeing in general. But yeah,
the one other thing that really stands out to me is November had almost the same amount of lots as June, but the average was lower. So you had almost 700 lots in November, and you had over 700 lots in June, but the difference is considerable.
Yeah. Anyway, we all know that things are rising. So,
well, like I was saying to Bill just a little bit ago, today's paying a little extra is tomorrow saving money. You know, anything you won in November that you thought maybe you paid a little too much for, all of a sudden doesn't look so bad.
All right.
What do you think, Albert? You're biting your tongue.
Sales has been going up tremendously. It has been going up.
Right. Well, I know that when you and I were talking at the beginning of the year. Oh.
It's I can't really say why it's going up so high, but yeah. So I mean, Berkey could say it. I mean, it's sales has been going great on the website. Just usually I would sell out about 20 or 30% per update. Now it's more like 40%. It's sales has been going up, and I don't really know why, but it's really, I mean, I guess people have more money these days. No cons, more money to spend, nothing to do. I guess they're just spending more money these days. It might change with the shows that's coming up in the next few months. I'm not sure, but we'll see.
Right.
So,
well, I remember you and I were talking about those Kirby Thor pages at the beginning of the year, and I was like, "Wow, I really want one." At like, I know, and then they all disappeared, and now they're almost twice what they were when I'm kicking myself for not taking one at the beginning of the year now.
Yeah, you should have took one. Yeah, it's worth a lot more than now. Yes.
Right.
It's really shocking how Kirby's gone up. I mean, on my website there was a George Tusca Iron Man page with Subby and Iron Man fighting each other. I had it for 5K, I think.
Yeah, from issue 54, I remember it.
Yeah, 54, and I said, why not just throw it up in Comic Connect? And that damn thing went for $7,500. I was shocked. So I don't know. Things are just. I never thought in my wildest dreams I can actually get $18,000 for a Ron splash, but I've had. Same thing with the Adam Kubert double page splash, $25,000. I mean, I never thought I can get that, but I can. It's just a new realm these days with the prices of how high they're going. It's shocking, but people are paying it, and I got to pay attention more to first appearance, first fight scenes, which is crazy, but that means a lot to a lot of collectors. The image, of course, but also early issues, which I never thought that I'm sure it's going to be on your pictures that's showing up, like that Conan 2 cover. It's mind-boggling, but that going for $250,000. I mean,
that was staggering. That was staggering. Look, I mean,
it took the tango, but somebody pushed it up. Somebody pushed the other person up. I mean, it's just. But then again, I just don't know. Simon Bisley, it was a market that was dead for a long time until now with this Lobo issue. I mean the Lobo cover. It's just. Bisley's a great artist, and I always was surprised at how the market was just so dead on his stuff. I mean, he's a great artist. And it just was dead for the longest time, and all of a sudden, boom, pow! This Lobo cover went crazy, and now everything's selling for Lobo. I mean, for Bisley, and
Sure.
He really should be getting that type of money. I mean, Bisley's a great artist. I mean, it should be getting that type of money, and I was surprised that it was so undervalued. And I wish I took advantage of it more, but I didn't. But. So it's
you made up for it with other pieces, Albert. You made up with it with plenty of other pieces.
But it's usually I always have my instinct in saying when things are really that depressed, I should buy it. Just like Boris Vallejo. There was all those Boris paintings that was on Heritage. I just bought it all up because I can't believe a Boris painting would sell for $1,000 to $2,000. I'll buy it all up all day long. And I should have done the same thing with Bisley, and I didn't. But, oh well. You win some, you lose some.
That's right. So, hey, before we get talking about the individual lots, this is a question for both Mike and Albert. Dino asked it, and a couple of the people were curious as well. So, are you both seeing on the higher ticket sales that you're both generating? Are you seeing newer collectors coming into the hobby, or is it a lot of the older, people who are already, longstanding customers? I mean, just as an in general statement, do you feel like we're seeing new collectors coming in, or just there's more money in the hobby because everyone's collection has gone up in value. They're able to play at these higher dollar amounts now.
For me, it's newer customers.
Yeah,
Mike?
I would say it's more than half are new customers versus old.
There's a lot of new customers in there.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of I've never even heard of.
And again, a lot of them for me too are outside of the United States.
That was actually my next
Sales
question.
outside the United States are a lot higher than they used to be. Same with you, Albert?
Yeah, a lot more, especially Asia. It's really up in Asia.
Yeah.
In Asia, they really love Simon Bisley, and seems like they really love Frazetta, which I was a little surprised on. But yeah, they love that stuff, and it's been selling over there. I mean, Asia has been selling a lot of Bisley, Frazetta, more of that type of fantasy style. That's what I have to say with that. Europe is pretty much the same. It's been pretty same thing all around, and a lot of new customers in the United States that I haven't seen before. And buying some things that I never thought, would sell. Or would sell with that type of money or that quickly. So it's been going pretty fun. I mean, I got to adjust new prices for sure.
Right. I would imagine you guys are both having to go back and update your own inventories just to make sure that nothing gets too good of a deal out there.
Yes.
I don't do that, so people can hunt it out on my website and buy it. It's fine.
I gotta go. I gotta surf the web. I'll be back later.
That's right. I gotta figure out.
Sure.
Right.
I gotta hurry up before Albert changes his prices, and I gotta hurry up before everybody else goes to Mike's site.
Right. Well, I can tell you that there's one sort filter that I haven't given to any dealer, and that's like order by, everything is ordered by newest to oldest. We don't let you order oldest to newest. So unfortunately, you got to work for that one. You got to jump to page 10 in a search and work your way back if you want to try to find the old stuff at the best price.
Tell people. Stop.
The Kyle Baker, Cowboy Wally pages. There were only between $75 to $175 a page. I thought they were super cheap, and of course, somebody just bought it all out. I mean, it was really inexpensive, and I always thought they were really inexpensive. But one guy just bought it all out and says, this is just way too cheap. He just bought it all out, seeing how everything is going so crazy. So a lot of stuff that's on my site that I think is. And also Mike's site, probably. I really never looked. Sorry, Mike. But
it's all right. I choose to sell the collectors. Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, not many collectors look at your site. But anyway, okay.
Save that for the special Dueling Dealers episode that we have between the both of you in August. Cat's out of the bag.
Vicious activity.
That will probably, I will have to get between these two. I don't know how to, like that.
Better you than me, Bill. I feel like I'm about to be collateral damage.
You might be the guest referee that night, Nick. All right. Well, why don't we start talking about the lots that made up some of the biggest sales from this particular auction, and we'll see what you guys have to say about them. So let me pull this thing up here because we can start right off with the big sale of the show, the record-setting U.S. published cover that Heritage sold, with the final price being $840,000 for this amazing EC cover. And I know Albert and Mike, you both have sold a lot of EC covers in your time. So what are your thoughts on seeing a price like this?
Go ahead, Albert.
I thought this was right on the money. I thought this was a museum piece. I thought this was a great piece. Actually, I bid 500,000 for this piece, and I lost. I thought this was a fantastic cover, and at $800,000, I thought it went cheap. I thought it should have gone 1 million. So that's my thoughts on it. I think this is a fantastic cover, and I'm happy that the collector who put it in got this price. I mean, it's a fantastic piece. He bought this straight from Russ Cochran way back when.
Wow.
So really happy he got his money. He never really wanted to sell this piece. I know that for sure, but it's a fantastic piece, and I wish I won it, but I couldn't go $1 million. So I really love it. I think it's great. I think this is well worth it.
Mm-hmm.
I think 2 or 3 years from now, people will say, like, you know, why didn't I bid on this? But that's my opinion. I love this piece. So anyway, Mike.
Yeah, I didn't think it would go that high, but you told me before the auction it was going to go for more. I was thinking it was going to go for around 4 to 5, and you said nope, it's going to go higher. So you were right. I was wrong.
Well, I mean, it's an amazing work of art, and certainly, you know, I was thinking it was going to be in the 550 to 6 range. So I guess I should have talked to you ahead of time too, Albert. You could have schooled me early on.
No,
it's one of the greatest wood covers.
Yeah.
It's a great Wally Wood piece, and I wish I was better well off and I can afford something like this. But it's a great piece. It's definitely worth the money that it went for.
Right, and you know, this is a good example. You know, this is a piece from 1952, well, you know, before our times, and it's still commanding those kind of prices. And a lot of people talk today about, well, like, you know, the kids of tomorrow aren't going to appreciate the artwork was created in the 80s and the 90s and the 2000s. And I mean, this is a perfect example of, you know, the people who appreciate the medium as art, fine art, whatever, however you want to look at it, who really love original comic art. You know, they can be 40 years from now that they're going to be looking at the artwork today and still wanting to own it, and will be spending that kind of money on it. I mean, this is something that, you know, everybody keeps hoping for the bubble to burst or that this thing is going to fizzle out one day. I just don't see it. I think that comic art is finally, and you know, coming into its own as a medium of that people really value and appreciate, and this is a perfect example of that.
Beautiful piece.
For sure. This is definitely a museum piece.
Yes. And then the Frazetta, since you were talking about Frazettas, I know you've sold a few Frazettas in your time. This one sold for just over $400,000. It's a paperback cover from 1969.
It's a great piece, but I thought that went higher than I thought it was going to go. I thought it was going to hit about 250, maybe 300. You know, Outlaw World is a great piece, but I don't know. It's just not it's not my favorite, but it went pretty well. It was a strange one. It went really slow in the beginning. It just sort of like it just kind of stopped for a while, and I thought it was going to end at, I couldn't believe it. I thought it was going to end at 150,000, and I was like, wow, I'm going to bid on this thing. And then all of a sudden, it just carried on. It just went all the way up to 400K. It just, like, in the beginning, it just kind of stopped at 150. And I thought that, wow, I can't believe this thing's going to sell so cheap. And then it just went crazy at the end. So, is it worth it? I don't know, but it's a great Frazetta painting. I like it, but 400,000, good price.
You do have 2 naked people there. I mean, that probably added 100,000 each.
And it was
rock. We see them.
I know they had the note that there's 2. I remember in the description people said there's naked men and women. I go, no, there's not. And I go, oh yeah, there they are.
Right, and it is a large painting though, because they actually showed that during the preview that I did with Heritage right before the auction, and I think it was like 2 foot by I don't know, it was over a foot wide, so larger than what we normally expect to see from a Frazetta painting. So That might have helped. Size man.
Look, all kidding aside, the iconic Frazetta paintings go for so much money. I know one person who went after this was hoping that it would go for about 240, and he basically said, I'm not going to be able to afford the bigger Frazetta paintings, and at least I get to say I have a Frazetta painting. Obviously, he missed out. So I do think there are people looking at this, and trust me, this is a lot of money, but relative to Frazetta paintings, it's more affordable for people. And the market keeps going up.
Very true.
$400,000. That's not a lot of people that can afford $400,000.
I'm saying the people that bid it up to get that high, that got it to like 300 or whatever. I'm not saying everybody, Albert. I'm not saying everybody.
Well, somebody really wanted to get their first Frazetta, maybe, and that's what it took.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the piece, but 400 it's a good price.
Mm-hmm.
It's a healthy price. I love this piece.
I put this in here because I knew you could talk about it, Albert, because Crumb is somebody who I know you've sold a lot of artwork.
It's still relevant to today. I love this piece. In fact, I was the underbidder on this. I thought I won this piece. It just kind of stopped at one point at 200. All right, my maximum of this was 150. I went up to 240 on this, and I didn't get it. I lost. But I love this piece. I wish I won this piece, but I just couldn't go. I don't know. I really wish I got this story. I love this story.
Right. This was a 5-page story as well, and it went for $312,000.
It's a great piece. It's a fantastic piece, but I didn't win. I just didn't want to pay like. I thought I probably would have had to pay $300,000 for it, or maybe more. I'm not sure. I don't know how high that person was going to go, but it's a great piece. I love this piece, and please stop showing it because it gives me nightmares.
The one that got away.
So then it's a good thing you didn't get it.
The worst, the ones that get away. But I did give it my best shot. I pushed it up to 240, and I just couldn't do any more. I just couldn't do it.
So that means there were 2 bidders after you then, of course, for it to go that high then, right?
I think it did hit. Hold on, let me look at my bids.
Bill said 312.
Right, but when he was at 240, that might not have included the juice.
Yeah, so 260, Mike. 260 would be 312.
And so the next bid was 250, and then I just couldn't do 260. I just didn't want to go 260 on it. I bid as high as I could bid. That was it. I'm talking about hammer. I'm not talking about the overall price with the 20% on top.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I did my best shot. I love this story. I thought this was great.
Albert, if you really wanted it that bad, I probably know a few people that would buy your Green Lantern 76 cover. They would have helped you.
No, I wouldn't have done that, but yeah, this was painful that I stopped zooming in on this, by the way. I'm trying to.
I like seeing you sweat.
It kind of hurts a little bit. This was one that I was trying. I thought I had it because at 230 it kind of stopped. I thought I got it. No, actually not 230. It was at 220. It stopped. I thought I got it. And then the guy went 240 or 230, and I bid 240, and then he bid 250, and then that was it. So then I just didn't want to go 260. So that was it. But this is a great story. I think it's well worth it. I wish I had the unlimited funds, and I would have bid more. But this is a good one. This is a great one.
And you get no complaints from me. It's one of my favorites as well.
Mike, you have any comments? Talking this.
No, I'm not into Crumb.
Okay, none of the Crumb.
Oh, my claim to fame is Robert Crumb dated my aunt when they worked at American Greeting in 1963. That's the only thing I can tell you about Crumb.
Okay, Nick, anything? No, right? Thank you. All right, next
one. No. I only want to respond to Jordan real quick, if that's okay.
Oh, what Jordan, where he said he felt so insignificant?
Yeah. there is absolutely positively nothing to feel insignificant about. I've seen Jordan's collection. It is beautiful and enviable. Everybody that's a part of this, they buy what they love and they have great collections, and we all appreciate each other. So take that out, Jordan. Delete that message.
It's all good.
Right. Well,
Whoops. I hit something wrong, but
No, you're good. You're good.
still there.
You're good.
I'm good. Okay.
Right. Well, and we do always start with the high end stuff, everybody. So, I'm not trying to make it.
Well, Mike, I'm sure you agree with me on this one, but this one went insane.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm sure a lot of people know this was offered 2 months before the auction. This was being offered privately for in the 75 to 80 range, and it ended up selling for 3 times that price at auction. So,
right, this sold for $264,000. It's Barry Smith, of course. It's Conan the Barbarian #2 cover from 1970.
Yeah, I said this cover. Remember, Albert? We know the 2 cover and the 3 cover have made like the show circuit since like the early 90s. The Conan 2 and 3 have been at all the comic conventions since the early 90s, and people never wanted them. And just goes to show you now, boom, this is the surprise of the entire auction.
From what I heard, some collector, it was a comic collector, really wanted this book because he said, this is #2. So whatever that's worth.
Well, is the cover to #1 out there?
It's because how early the issue is. It's just
right, but is the cover to #1 out there? That's my one question.
The cover #1 is out there, but that guy's never going to sell.
Right. So then this is the only thing a few people could get.
Yeah, the earliest cover, but I don't think really anybody cares as #2. Well, I think what people care about Barry Smith and how they love his artwork, and this is not the style that people love. So I don't know. If the guy loves it, hey, but it takes 2 to tango, right? Somebody pushed them up.
Right. Here's the thing I say about Barry Smith. A year and a half, 2 years ago, I think the market was a little flooded with Conan by Barry Smith. Everything was going soft.
That's why.
Huh?
It was 2 or broken up at the same time.
Right. So, because I had a Barry Smith page that I had traded for, and one of the few times I had regret, and I went and sold it, and I took a loss on it, but I didn't love it as much. And ever since, all it takes is one trigger. That Marvel Comics Presents and Comic Link selling for $170,000 just brought out more BWS, and people are everything's going up in price again. It's just a trigger.
Well, this is really early Barry Smith, so it's more like him drawing like Kirby. He didn't develop his style yet, so I wouldn't say that this is the very best of Barry Smith. So for me,
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying the name value. I mean, look, the real Barry Smith came back at around Conan #20. That's when you got Barry Smith, when he came back around 20, 21, 22, 23.
Yeah. I think probably issue 7. I would say 7 he pretty much came through. 7 on up. It was great. I thought it was great.
But once you got because you got to remember, when he went back to England and he was dealing with his cancer, he didn't draw for a while. So when he started drawing again, once he beat the cancer, his style evolved just a little bit more. And you could see a difference in like 22, 23 and up.
Well, I'm just talking about this period of Barry Smith, but his Conan stuff just got better with probably, to me, issue 7.
Absolutely.
And then, of course, probably issue 18 is when, 19, it just went crazy. It just went to that style that everyone loves. But issue 2 was pretty early, and he was still drawing like Kirby. And I was very shocked with this cover. It's not my favorite cover. It's not even a very good story, but it went for 250. So I don't know what to say other than congratulations to whoever bought it.
Yeah.
I hope you love it. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
And whoever sold it.
It's a very expensive. Yeah. And whoever sold it, congrats.
Very true. So this is Jack Kirby, Dick Ayers, Avengers #1 story page, of course, from 1963 that sold for $180,000.
I hate to say this, I really thought it was going to top out at 100,000 to 120,000. That's where I thought it was going to top out. I mean, it's been this few years since we've seen an Avengers #1 page, and it's a really good page. I mean, you've got Loki fighting Hulk and Iron Man, but the timing could not have been better. I mean, it was right before the Loki TV series started, so this really leaned into it. So, and you've got, and I'm talking about Hulk and Iron Man. Obviously, you have Thor as well. So, like I said, the timing could not have been better. It definitely was stronger than I thought it would be. But again, how are you ever going to get another Avengers #1 page?
Mike?
I thought it would go for around 1 to 125. It went higher, but it's #1 and Avengers. The past decade, Avengers 1 to 3 pages have always been setting records. It seems at auction. So, and this being one of the best pages, the #1, I'm almost not surprised at the price. So,
it's one of the better pages in the book for sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's one of the few pages that has all the Avengers on it.
The 3 main Avengers. Yeah.
It's because, Mike, you know, Avengers 1 is almost like a Hulk book or something, right? It just barely had the Avengers on it.
Right.
No, like a Thor book that had like Loki and Thor, and it didn't really have much of the Avengers on it. So this is one of the pretty good pages. 150, It's a good price, but it's one of the better pages from the book.
Right. And the first issue, and like we were talking about, first appearances, all that stuff. There's a new market for first appearances and first issues that we never foresaw coming.
It's not a but
Avengers 1 is Avengers 1,
I guess.
It's no different than having I had a Tales of Suspense 99 page that went for $3,000. But the same page from Iron Man 1 is $20,000, so being from issue 1 is why it went for 180.
Yeah. I guess. Too bad Conan 1 much money than Conan.
Yeah, right.
Conan 2 page, right? Anyway.
Right. But that was a 2. Hey, lower print run.
Conan 1 page, I couldn't sell the damn thing, But
right.
Anyway, never mind. Anyway, yes, it's a great page. It is a good page.
It is.
150 bid. It's a healthy bid.
Yep.
On to the next artwork here. This is for Jack Kirby Esquire magazine piece from 1966. So one of the he even got Spidey's costume down pretty well, which we didn't see Jack do too. Put that kind of detail into getting it right in many of his Spidey illustrations that I've seen. So this was the nice one, and it went for $168,000, which includes the buyer's premium.
Again, this one, I was the underbidder on this one. I bid $130,000, and the person bid $140,000, and they outbid. I didn't want to go $150,000, but I think it's a great piece, another museum piece. So,
so did you go after the crumb because you missed out on this one?
Well, when I bid on this one, I was thinking like, should I do 150 to 160? I was really thinking about it, but I said, something, I like the crumb more. I'm going to go all in on the crumb. So I said, okay, he outbid me like a decent amount. I'm going to make the guy pay. I made him pay, and I said, okay, he outbid me fair and square. So then I said, whoever's going to bid against me in the crumb is going to have to really pay. And I guess I made him pay, but I didn't get it. So I wish I got the crumb, or I wish I got this piece. If I would have got this piece, I wouldn't have gone so high on the crumb. But I don't even know if I would have won at 150 hammer.
Right. There could have still been more bids. Yeah.
Still more. But then again, at 130, it went silent for a while, and then the guy went 140. And I said, "What the hell? What just happened?" I thought I won it. But oh well, it happens.
It's a beautiful piece. It's got so many great characters.
But the only thing that I worried worried about it was that everybody with an iconic pose, and certain things look funny to me, but it is done in 1966, so it is what it is, and it's a great piece. I mean, I really like the piece a lot, and I wish I won it, but I didn't win it. So, oh well,
Yeah.
It would have looked really nice with that John Buscema group shot you won on eBay.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
You could have put those two right next to each other. So
that's exactly what I was thinking.
By the way, let's go to something that Berkey lost, huh? How about that?
Right.
Lose any.
Albert,
a lot.
me and Berkey got to get to under like 20,000, so it's going to be a while for a thing you lost.
The $300,000 guy, I know that for sure. So Mike bids, sure.
Oh, I'm sure there'll be a piece or two here that I was interested in. So.
Right. I mean, somebody asked earlier.
Hey, listen, it didn't have a Romita Spider-Man, so he wasn't going to bid on that.
Oh, there was some Romita Spider-Man in there, but I didn't get any of them.
See?
Right.
Exactly. See.
So, and just so everybody knows, I just wanted to mention because somebody said, they thought Mike might have bid on something. I mean, the guys will tell you if they bid and won something just as much as they'll tell you if they bid or they were the underbid.
I tell everybody when I win something. When we have every recap show we've been on, I've told everybody every piece I've won.
Right. Exactly. And that's and remember, guys. These guys are collectors before they're dealers. You always have to remember that. So it's not dealers driving the prices up. These are people who are collecting and
wrong show, Mike. Wrong show.
Yeah, I looked at the thwip.
Anything, Nick? Anything, Mike? Nothing, right? Let's go to the next.
All right, next one.
I already said it was beautiful.
No, I love that piece myself. When I did the Heritage preview, I picked that image for the background because it was one of my favorite pieces.
You know what, Bill? Actually, can we go back to it for a minute?
No, Albert wants to.
I'm kidding.
We're going to start doing something else, by the way. Go ahead. Go to the next one. Yeah.
All right. So Steve Ditko, Amazing Spidey. Let's see, number 34 page. This one sold for $144,000. It's kind of got that pseudo cover image on it as well. Lots of Craven on there.
No, this is probably the best page in the book. I will say the last probably 3 Spider-Man pages that were at Heritage, I bought them all, but I didn't buy this one. Went way too high for me. But it's the best page in the book, I'd say. So.
Is it really?
Yep, I think it's the best page. You want a funny story? If people feel like the very last panel, I'll tell you a funny John Romita story. The very last panel, Romita in issue, I believe it is issue 49. The last panel, Romita swiped it perfectly. I mean, there's a Romita panel that looks exactly like the last panel here in Spidey 49. A friend told me years ago, and I remember I commented it to John Romita, and boy, years ago, and he got offended at me when I said that. I go, you swiped Ditko with the last panel. I go, looks just like a panel from 34. He goes, no, I didn't. And I just shut up because I didn't realize John was upset when I said that.
Well, give me swiping another artist. You think he's going to be proud of that?
I know, but I'm just saying. I mean, the panels are identical, pose, hand, everything. And I thought he would take it as, wow, you're giving Ditko credit, but he was sort of like upset. He goes, no, I didn't. I just said, oh, okay.
I got to go with John. I didn't swipe anything.
I think this had 2 things going for it. One, it literally jumped when they announced Jake Gyllenhaal playing Craven. I feel like it jumped when that was announced. 2, look, there's 616 splashes on that. No, I'm kidding.
No, I thought this was the best page in the book, so it's a great page.
Well,
it's definitely a great page.
Completely agreed.
It was strong. Look, it's great page, great timing, and Ditko is skyrocketing even more than most.
It is.
All right. So the next piece here is the Dan DiCarlo, Sabrina the Teenage Witch. This was a 5-page story that went for $114,000. And I remember when I had Joe on for the preview. Yeah, he really was gushing over it. I did not expect it to sell for this much. I mean, and only because I'm not I'm not a Dan DiCarlo aficionado by any means, clearly. But but yeah, I know a lot of people were very high on this piece, and so I guess I shouldn't be surprised by the $114,000 on it.
Again, this is more of that first appearance thinking again, and the seller. I said we got to give kudos to the seller because they sure knew what they were doing.
The seller bought the story for $300.
Really?
Yeah.
And that was only a year ago,
What
right?
year though?
Years ago, from Scott Dunbar.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Well,
I said they knew what they were doing. I said they're that guy. You got to call him like buying Apple stock in '85.
Oh, for sure. The guy who bought it, fantastic. Good luck. I mean, good for him.
Yep.
He's a well-known writer, by the way.
Oh, nice.
Good for him. I mean, I'm glad he got the money, but he knew what he was doing. He bought it for $300 from Scott Dunbar. I think.
Hey, what's that
I'm pretty
tapping sound? Who's tapping on their desk?
It's me. I'm sorry. It's me because I'm a little nervous. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I'm nervous being around all this great art.
He wants to get past this because he didn't bid on it.
No,
I'm
I
still
wish
thinking about that.
$300. That's why I
He's
would.
still thinking about that crumb story.
Yeah.
Or the Kirby.
Stupid Kirby. Yes, I'm still angry about it. Oh God.
Very much so. Now, so this is the Barry Windsor Smith unused variant cover to MCP 78. It went for $102,000.
Not surprised.
Yeah,
Really?
I wasn't
Mike,
actually.
I don't get the Weapon X market. I think it's awesome. It's amazing what the prices go, but being unpublished, I never thought it would hit 6 figures.
I totally agree. Being it's unpublished, 102, really.
Yeah,
So
I think it's a great image, though. I mean, as far as
great image.
Yep.
it's a great
And from
image,
what the MCP, yeah, but those I realized those published MCP splashes, the one that Comic Link sold. I mean, they were published pieces, but again, it's the right period.
That was a cover though, so it's not a splash. It was actually used as a cover. This is unused. This was never published anywhere. So for it to go to it's a healthy bid for sure.
It's a humongous image. Show it all the way to the bottom, Bill. I'm curious. I just wanted to see it all the way.
Yeah.
But that's the whole piece all the way.
Yeah.
And that's
The piece square?
What's that?
The piece looks like it was square. Is that the whole image? Wow.
I'm not looking at the detail to see what
title
the.
Mike, they had to put the title.
Oh, okay. So there was an open area at the top.
It
I'm
is.
just expecting 11 by 17. That looks like a square. That's what I was wondering. If that was the
Right. Well, no, it makes sense. I mean, you're right, but the image area says it's 11 by 11.
Whole... Oh, okay. So it was a square piece.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Makes it even more not worth it. But anyway.
Yeah,
Look,
that's my opinion. I go, so it's not even on an 11 by 17 board. Wow.
After the Comic Link auction, actually one piece during the Comic Link auction when it jumped to 100,000 real quick, my understanding is someone sold a page for $85,000, a panel page. It was a cash trade, to be clear, and that's why I'm not surprised this went for $100,000. I thought it was going to go for between 80 and 120. I know that's a wide range, but that's where I thought it was going to hit. Because, and look, I'm not saying this is going to happen, and I'll always say buy something because you love it, no other reason. It is beautiful, but we live in a day and age where Marvel is finding unpublished work left, right, and center, and then getting it published.
Okay.
Look at that Avengers cover.
So it was 11 by 17. Okay.
It was 11 by 17. Yeah, I just wanted to show that it
So
wasn't
it
cut.
was meant to be a cover, which is good. So.
Correct. It does have everything at the top. So Albert was right. They were leaving space just for that. So the image area was 11 by 11 is what was written in the description.
All right. That one's strong.
Sorry. At 102, that's very strong, but it's unused. I mean, the other one, at least
everything is strong now.
Cover, it makes a big difference. This is unused.
All right.
For 102.
Again, it's a beautiful piece.
Yeah, it is.
Hey, it is a great looking piece. I don't know about 102 grand, but it's a great piece though.
It's the same audience that bought Simon Bisley. It's the same audience that's growing right now. The Adam Kubert. It's that audience.
Simon Bisley was, you know, it was that guy's favorite Lobo cover. He loved that Lobo issue, and you know, I understand that he, you know, this is his favorite book, so he wanted to go that high. Somebody pushing him up that high. How
Right.
can anybody say favorite book? That book, it never came out. You
All
know?
right, Nick. I think you're the only one that should be talking about this piece, Nick.
All the time. But anyway,
I don't
okay,
know.
I'm
I
sorry.
don't know about that. Albert reps Jim. I don't know if I should be the only one talking.
I was joking.
Cover, man. You know how much you go for?
This one went for $90,000 with the juice. So it's Ghost Rider 26 cover from 1992.
Yeah, that went for half value, right, Albert? Went for half price.
Value, that's for sure. Remember, this was done at the same time as the X-Men cover that came out, so it had a matching X-Men cover. That
Oh, that's
had,
right. This is that one.
so it came out at the same time. It's during the X-Men run. So whoever's buying it, they really wanted an X-Men cover. It does have the X-Men on it. For you to buy an X-Men cover, here's the thing: if you want to buy an X-Men cover, you probably have to pay $150,000 to $200,000 for an X-Men cover. So to pay $90,000 for this, I don't see anything wrong. I really don't see anything wrong with it. It's not like this was done like much later on. This is done in the same period as when the X-Men came.
1992.
No, look, you've got Wolverine, Gambit, Ghost Rider. It went for the right price. It absolutely.
And imagine if this
went for the right
instead of Ghost Rider, X-Men on top of it,
Right.
Uncanny X-Men, it would have went for 200. So I think whoever bought it for 90, they got a good buy. In fact, I bid on this cover, and I didn't win. So I thought this was a pretty good buy. That's my opinion. Anyway,
I think it went for the right price.
I think it went lower. I think it could have went higher. Mike, what do you think?
Everything could have went higher.
See, I think so too. It did come out the same time as not Uncanny, but you know, Jim's second run of X-Men. So
Right.
it came out the same time. I remember this book. So you know, I think this is better quality than that.
This is like around X-Men in the teens or so.
So for that same amount of money, you know, I think this is a better piece than the Punisher piece. So that went for in comic line, you know. So I think this went actually kind of cheap.
Eh,
There you have it. Harvey Kurtzman.
Great
Another-
cover.
another EC cover again.
Were you under bidder again, Albert?
Nope, not at all.
Oh, okay.
no, he
Not
won. No, he won this one. Did you win it?
Absolutely not. I did not win it. I already have a Kurtzman cover, lots of Kurtzman covers, so I didn't go for this one. It's a nice cover. I really like this cover, but no, I didn't. It went
Yeah, but
higher
you
than
didn't have the one-armed man who killed the guy's wife.
No, it's not the same story, by the way. But yeah, it's a cover and it went for a good price.
Yeah, what did it go for again, Bill?
90,000.
90,000. I think that's the highest price though a Kurtzman has gone for at auction, to my knowledge.
No, this is the highest price Kurtzman
Of that title, I mean.
ad cover, right? Mike, he did Mad.
I'm
Mad
saying
cover.
of these covers, right.
Yeah, Two-Fisted or whatever, Frontline Combat. Yes,
No.
this is.
No, I've looked up other because when I was doing research on it, I looked what other Two-Fisted Tales covers going. I'm going. This blew them out of the water for
Yeah.
Two-Fisted.
Or Frontline Combat, any of
Right.
those blew out the water, but you know, this is not the highest Kurtzman. I mean,
Right.
there's Mag covers that sold for more than this, and they're sold for like years.
Yeah, Mad is its own other world.
Yeah, but still, it is Kurtzman. So
Right.
this selling for 90. Yeah, this is a really good cover. I mean, yeah, I really like this cover. Another museum piece.
I just love that he calls the guy a bilge rat. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm gonna have to use that in a meme one day.
You
bilge
bilge rat.
Yeah, bilge rat.
Why is it I get a feeling on August 9th, I'm going to see one of your faces on that character.
Exactly.
That's gonna be
Oh,
me.
That is a good wrestling pose.
It is. Yeah, you're right. That is a good pose there. All right, on to the next one. This one I think is right up Nick's alley.
Nick, go ahead, Nick.
Dick Giordano. What is this? Secret Origins Supervillains cover from I don't even know what the year is, but it was 90,000 as well.
Well, I was the under, and the under bidder below that. We had some emails going around, me, Kevin Brogan, Michael Finn, I think, and Will Gabrielle, and everybody was saying, I think I'm going to be out at $8,000, $10,000, $12,000. I was going to go up to $18,000 on this. Literally, the second it popped, I was like, am I reading this right? Did they move? I could not believe this performed
Nick,
Let me
I
Albert,
bid $50,000 a piece.
Okay.
I did 50 grand this piece and I lost.
Listen, it is beautiful. It is spectacular. And I was not ready for this price.
I wasn't ready either, but I was going to go high on this piece. But I'm kind of happy I got outbid on this one. But I didn't win this one. I bid pretty hefty on this. I really love this piece. I just remember this. And I thought I was going to win it. I didn't think anybody was going to beat me. But I got outbidded. But, you know, this one doesn't haunt me. This one for sure does not haunt me. But I think it's a great cover. Was I overpaying at 50? Yes, for sure. But I don't care. I really like this cover a lot. I thought this was a great cover.
My comment, my one criticism to this is that every superhero has their greatest villain, except for my favorite, the Flash. Captain Cold is not his greatest villain. It's Mirror Master. So that was the one thing that kept it down. Aesthetically, as a fan, that's all I'm saying.
But Giordano, it was, that was it.
No, it's beautiful. Like I said, this blew away every expectation that me and the four people I was talking to about this. It really, really wowed me, which is why when the Garcia Lopez piece came up, I couldn't believe that relative to this was so much more affordable. But this, I mean, so obviously you had a better feel for this than I did. You said you went up to 50. What did you think it could top out at?
I really thought I could have got it for 35,000, and I went all the way up to 50. Just thought that no one's going to outbid me, and sure enough, they did, and they went way past me. What did it hit for? I don't think I was the under.
This was 90. They went up to 90.
So 70 with the juice, 75.
Yeah. Kept going up. Well, there's no way I'm going to win this, so that's it. Somebody really loves it. I thought I was the only one that loved it that much, but yeah, I bid as high as I could, but it was a great piece. I didn't win it, it was a great piece. I thought it was going to hit. I thought I would have had it for 50 grand, but I guess not.
I'm getting my butt handed to me in the comments for saying Mirror Master.
Oh, good.
Yes, that's all right though. Everybody has their favorite villain.
Hey, he's just a reflection,
But
yeah, a great. It was a great piece. Not a museum piece, but it's great.
Next up, Dave Cockrum, Frank Giacoya, Amazing Spider-Man 197 cover. This one went for $87,000.
Mike?
You're the Spider-Man.
My personal opinion is the cover looks a little wonky. I think the Kingpin's face looks funny. Spider-Man's costume mask looked funny, so it never really interested me. I remember somebody showing this to me and saying, "Oh, Romita drew it." I go, "Romita didn't touch this. Don't say it's Romita." But really? Great price, but I thought it went for twice what I thought it would go for. What are your thoughts, Albert?
I thought it went very high for an ugly cover, but
yeah.
I never liked this cover.
I mean, Spidey and Kingpin are awesome. I just think that who do they list inker as, Bill, on this one?
Giacoya.
Cockrum Giacoya,
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's a great villain in Spidey, but artistically, I just didn't care for it.
definitely not a Cochran cover I thought was great.
Right.
Yeah. I thought Mike bid on it because
No, I didn't bid on it at all.
really? Spider-Man? No. I'm shocked.
No.
By the way, Marcus actually brought up a good point I hadn't thought about on that DC Giordano. That is the cartoon superhero lineup, which probably gave a lot. I hadn't even thought about that. That's probably, obviously Captain Marvel and Savannah weren't, but that probably had more resonance with a lot more collectors, which is why that 90,000 becomes more and more realistic the more you look at it, because everybody watched that cartoon.
That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I like Cockrum a lot, but yeah, this wasn't one of my favorite ones either. But still, I mean, as far as Amazing Spider covers go, it's back to that. If it's a newer buyer,
it's 1970s Bronze Age Spidey cover,
right. I mean,
and,
it's not like there are floating
and a
around on the
major
market.
villain. So it sold because of content, not because of its artistic merits to me. So
For sure.
but
All
it's
right.
ASM. ASM sells,
Exactly. All right, now this next one, I'm sure Albert and Mike both appreciate. Bernie Wrightson, House of Secrets 100 cover. This one went for $84,000.
What do you think, Albert?
I have to. I sold it many years ago, but
Well, I have to
somebody I know-
confess, I sold this cover 3 years ago for 35 grand, and I bought it back for 84 grand.
Oh, see, I didn't know that.
Yep.
Actually, that's the same exact price I sold it for. Is 35.
Yep. I sold this for 35 grand. A guy goes, "You had this?" I go, "Damn, I couldn't even remember." I go, "You know what? The rights and stuff. It's from the same year. It's right after. It's same year as the first Swamp Thing. It's the era of Wrightson." And I just said, "You know what? I'm gonna regret it." So I said, "I'm gonna buy it and just hang on to this one." So I just thought all the skull heads and 5 zombies and the chunky guy. I just thought it was just prime era Wrightson is just going to be hard to find. So I bought this one back. It was a regret to get rid of, so I bought it back. So
All right.
Yes, Mike, I'm going to regret this one.
yep. Like I said, I
it's
don't
not-
mind hanging on to Wrightson. I'll hold on to vintage Wrightson.
It's a Wrightson,
I tell everybody, if I wasn't collecting Spider-Man, Wrightson would have been my guy when I got in the hobby. If I wasn't collecting Spider-Man,
Really?
I tell people the 3 greatest artists I've ever seen in my life were Alex Raymond, Mac Raboy, and Bernie Wrightson. To me, they're
So
the
what-
3 greatest artists.
80. This one for
What's that?
80,000. What is it?
70
for?
plus the juice. It went for 84.
84,000. So you will pay for a better cover, 100 grand.
All depends what it is.
I mean, one of the best covers for Wrightson is.
Yeah, we'll talk about it for sure.
Would you pay 100 grand for a
We'll
great
talk
cover?
about it for sure.
Yeah, really? Okay.
Sure.
Oh boy. Hey guys, save it for August. Save it for August.
Save it for after the show.
Save it for August. for your.
I just like this
show.
because of the content with the zombies. That's all.
Really?
You are
This is
you
not-
are a horror fan.
Yeah. I mean, it's a Wrightson.
All
From
right.
72 Wrightson.
It doesn't matter. It's a Wrightson.
Hey, Albert. Mike beat you to buying something in our report so far today, in our recap. There we go.
I bought something Albert didn't.
Well, yeah, somebody would buy something the other day, and I don't see you guys teaming up on buying one cover.
I know. Bam. All right.
No, I don't see it happening either. All right, on to the next artwork. Another Spidey artwork. This time from Todd McFarlane.
Wow.
Spider-Man 5. This one went for $84,000 as well. So
That was one of my favorite pieces in the auction, and I look at Albert making fun of me. I could tell, and I just knew I had no hope of getting it. So, but I mean, wasn't this offered just last year for like 35 or 40,000 or something?
This was on my website for that price. Yeah.
There you go. And I missed it. So, I mean, that was, to me, that was strong price.
Wow. Yeah, I was very surprised at what this sold for.
Yeah,
you say?
me too.
Again, it was offered for half the price with no sales.
Well,
But some people had auction fever, and that's what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep, it sure did.
well, I wonder. We've talked about it. I watch the Heritage Live auctions and love them, just like probably everyone here does. I mean, the format really is conducive for getting your even when because I'm usually not bidding, of course, but just watching it, you get excited watching it. So I think that the format really works well for the way Heritage conducts the live auctions. I mean, and maybe in part that sort of helps it along, especially like when a piece comes in and it's at $12,000 and you see people bidding it up, during the live portion of the auction, and it gets up into the 50s and 60s and 70s. I just think that probably moves things along a little bit. And the McFarlane market has always been strong, but yeah, I mean, I really like this piece too, and I'm not a big McFarlane fan, but I like this one.
See, in my opinion, you're just not getting for that amount of money, you're not getting like a really, really great Spider-Man with his vintage mask and everything, because his mask is torn and stuff. That's why, to me, in my mind, this kept it out of being that top tier. But, maybe it has that vibe of like the Spider-Man 1 movie with the Tobey Maguire with the torn mask. I don't know. But hey, it's so great.
You know what it is? It's Peter Parker, Spider-Man coming at you, like really, really strong, breaking through.
Oh, it's a powerful page.
Yeah, it actually makes Spider-Man look menacing there. It's exciting. It's a beautiful. I really regret not having seen this on your site.
He almost has like a half Venom face at the top now that you think about it, with normal molars.
Yep, right there. Absolutely.
See, and I'll even it's funny, Mike, because you just mentioned that the mask is torn and you're not getting the Spidey mask. I think that those are interesting things that you guys are talking about, because when I'm looking at artwork, I don't think is Thor's helmet on straight or or whatever. But those are important things when you as a buyer are thinking about pricing. You're like,
I just need that vintage. I want to see the eyes and the mask and that protruding chin sticking out and that vintage McFarlane face that he's known for. And to me, that's sort of missing to me on this page. That keeps it in my mind, out of the top tier. But again, that's just my personal feelings.
No. Well, I was just pointing out that everyone looks at art and looks for their things. You're looking for the signature Spidey mask. Somebody else is really pleased to have one where it's torn apart. That's what everybody really is looking at art and valuing it based on what they appreciate and what they're looking for in a particular piece by a particular artist from a particular title.
And I said that's the beauty. It's all subjective. Everybody has their favorite things,
Right.
That's what makes this hobby so cool to all of us.
Yeah.
All right, we got another Cockrum here. This is from Giant Size X-Men #1. So this one went for $78,000.
I'll say, considering where Cockrum is right now, it's in the right range. I mean, I know the characters are small, but it's got a little bit of an arch in there, and it's still Cockrum. It's still beautiful, So feels like it went for the right price.
I think so. I'll tell everybody there was one little thing, and people probably wouldn't notice. There was one little thing that bothered me about this. If you look in the splash area, you see Wolverine on there with his 5 other friends. And then the second panel at the bottom left, they're all there, and Wolverine is gone. I said, if Wolverine was just in that bottom left panel where he should have been, I think the page sells for a lot more. But for whatever reason, they're there on the top, and yet he's missing in the bottom left. I just thought that was odd. So,
well, he's short. Maybe he's just hiding behind something.
Yeah, hiding behind Marvel Girl.
Yeah, I mean, Daniel Radcliffe might play Wolverine, so you never know.
But I just thought it was interesting. I go, wow, they're all there at the top. Their backs, for the most part, Wolverine, and then he's missing in the bottom left. He should have been there. What? They don't, that was the only thing that bothered me on it.
Other you on that piece?
That Wolverine wasn't in the second panel when he's in the first.
Okay.
But did you think it was a strong price, Albert?
I thought it went what it would have went for.
I thought it went for what it should have. Sure.
I thought it did.
It's still a semi-splash to the first appearance of every other character outside of Wolverine.
I thought it was. I think this was one of the last pages Cochran held on to. He really liked this. I remember in a convention, Cochran had this page up, and he told me this is the last one he kept, and he put it up for. So he really liked it. I thought it was a pretty good page. I thought it went pretty. I thought it went not. I mean, it went pretty well. I thought it was what it should have went for. Could have went higher. It went higher. It wouldn't have surprised me.
X-Men Battle Swamp Thing. What more could you ask for, right?
What was that again?
I said X-Men Battle Swamp Thing. I was joking.
Okay.
I mean, he looks like an offshoot of Swamp Thing. Look at that arm.
Well, Wolverine could have jumped ahead of, could have been hiding somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah. He was hiding behind the toe. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Let's do a public service announcement. Everybody, if you like what you're watching, please hit like. Even if you don't like me, Albert, or Mike, just hit like for Bill. Help his algorithms.
Yeah, help me.
Exactly. Bill's the important person here. The rest of us are just filler.
But I would agree with everybody that I thought this went exactly where I thought it was going to end up. And, it's nice to see Cockrum X-Men pages back on the market because I felt like there was we weren't seeing them for a number of years. And
that is true.
The last 8 months, it's been nice to see several of his, prime pieces coming back to market and getting the prices that you always expected them to get. Because I felt like they were always very undervalued. So I don't know. I'm very happy. I mean, I've always been a huge Cockrum fan, and I'm an X-Men fan. So this is it's pleasing. I mean, it puts me out of the market for a nice Cockrum X-Men page, but I'm really happy to see these kind of prices realized for his artwork.
All right.
And I threw this one in there. One more for Zeta, just for Albert. Figured you might have something novel to say about Johnny Comet. Nothing. No.
That is.
I have a friend who had me bid on this for him, but he got blown out the water early on. So, great images of the female.
Really
beautiful images of the female.
Sunday. It's a great Sunday. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't it in? I thought it was in Profiles in History. Was this in Profiles?
Oh, I don't know.
I'm not sure.
What did it sell for, Bill?
It sold for $57,600.
Yeah,
that's a very healthy price. It's a good piece.
Yeah.
I always thought comments were undervalued, so I think this piece went pretty well. I mean, the girl's fantastic. Can't get any better than that.
Right, gorgeous. Love the hair.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. 70 years old.
What's that?
I said not a museum piece, but anyway.
Everyone has a different idea of what a museum piece is.
All right, on to this Alex Schomburg Overstreet Price Guide number 10 cover. Went for $55,200. I think this is the first price guide I actually ever bought.
Funny you say that, Bill. Same with one of the earliest for me. Number 9, I think it was, or 10?
10.
Now, this is the second time it was in auction, Bill. I don't know if you're able to research, see what it sold for the first time around. I think this was in Heritage in like 2013 or so.
It was. I didn't win it the first time it went up, but it was. I do remember the cover. Actually, I won my very first price guide cover. It's the Kubrick cover. That Kubrick cover. Did you guys ever see that one?
Was Hawkman on it?
Huh?
Was it a Hawkman?
No, it was a Kubrick Tarzan cover.
Yeah. That was like number 6 or so, I think.
Price guide.
Right around there.
76. But that's my very first price guide. So I won that one. This one, no, it was later on, but I did bid on this the very first time. The second time, no. I was blown out of the waters.
Right. It went for a lot higher this time around.
Yeah, it really did go high. And, these Alex Schomburgs are not easy to find.
Right. And I know this one's drawn very large, too. I believe.
It was, how big was it? I don't remember how big this was.
Let me see. It was 20 by 26. And just so you guys know, I'm looking at the Alex Schomburg that was sold in 2007, and it's not the same cover. It's the other. The one from then was to the 21st comic book price guide cover. Similar, but you've got
maybe it was a comic link then, but this has been in auction before. I know.
Okay.
No, Ditko said it was $31,000 in 2013.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
All right, because I only have heritage data. This is the one that's from 2007, sold for $41,800.
What did this one sell for again, Bill? I'm sorry.
This one was $55,200.
Wow. Okay. Well, Schomburg's getting his love. Yeah.
Well, it should. I mean,
yeah, totally.
It went high.
All right, John Buscema, Claus Jansen, MCP #1 Splash. This one sold for $55,200 as well.
I could not believe how well this did. I mean, It is stunning, and it is the first page splash, but wow.
Yeah. I don't know the strong price, but again, these issue 1 people out there, So issue 1, page 1 splash, and I think that's why it sold so well.
It is beautiful.
It's nice. I mean, Klaus Janson did a great job. It's a nice splash. That price, I don't know. It's not a very memorable, those MCU's. I mean, those those Marvel covers. I don't remember stories that well. I didn't think they were that well then. But I don't. It's not a memorable story to me, but I remember reading them. But it's a nice image.
Because every issue you get like a 5-page story, 4 or 5-page stories or something in them. So it's hard for continuity purposes when you read those.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's a nice image for sure.
It's a great image, and in issue 1, that's why it did so well. Congrats to both seller and buyer.
Look, when Marvel Comics Presents #1 came out back in 88, 89, you have to keep in mind that book sold a boatload of copies. We're talking about over 500,000 copies. A lot of people read the stories. A lot of people looked at the stories, and it had the first 15 or 20 issues just continued to sell great at the time. And then it picked back up when Sam Keith took over. You had the Jay Lee, Sam Keith, Rob Liefeld stories. And that's why when you look at 85 and up, that artwork and those pieces sell well. But as far as this being in the minds of collectors remember this. And it like I said, it's beautiful. It's rare. It blew away all my expectations, but I can understand why it did, because so many people read this story who were young, impressionable collectors, and it's people with discretionary income right now, and they really wanted it. And this is the earliest example that you're going to get, and it is absolutely striking. I know I've said it's beautiful multiple times, but there's a reason why this went for a lot of money, and it's because people with money that read this, and there were a lot of them. Just like I didn't even think about the fact that the Dick Giordano piece was all the superheroes characters from the cartoon, but this piece, so many people saw it, and it does stand out. If you were reading this and loving it, this stood out to you.
Hey, Albert, would you rather have this or the Weapon X unpublished cover?
Probably the Weapon X.
Me too.
Or the Weapon X. I'm sorry to say.
Well, the Jansen Inks make this one.
No, visualize this beautiful visually.
Okay.
All right. Moving on to another one. This is Kurt Swan and George Klein, Superman 179 cover from 1965. It sold for $50,400.
Mike?
I actually thought this might have went a little soft.
Yeah. I just think that, it's a very busy cover, man. A lot of work on this cover. But I thought it sold for what it should sell for. I think all these covers should be in that range.
Okay.
What do you think? You thought it was soft?
What? No.
You said you thought it would sell for more?
No. It's okay. Yeah. So
I believe it or not, I love this cover more for the backgrounds than anything else. I just think there's a lot of work in the backgrounds of everything about robbing all the banks.
It has gold bricks. It doesn't have
bricks. We have bricks.
Bricks.
Bricks
No,
of gold.
look, it. When I say a little soft, I'm just saying like maybe just a little. I mean, look, those covers are right.
Seriously, why do you think it went soft? Has there been any other covers that went for like 60 or 70,000?
Just the JFK one.
Yeah.
And when was that?
A few years back on Hakes, it sold for like 112.
Right, and that was JFK, obviously.
Well, JFK wasn't on it, but it was super. It was the lowest kissing all the JLA members. It's a classic cover.
Well, it is funny. If I do a search on all auctioneers for Kurt Swan Superman covers, or just Kurt Swan in general, I mean, they are all either World's Finest covers or Superman covers, and the top 5 are all over $50,000, just over. The highest price is $53,775. So, I mean, I guess you could say it's probably right where it should be if you're looking at that market, at least today.
But your market don't show the Hakes, because I think the Hakes one sold for 112.
I do not have the Hakes data. You're right, and that was the one from a year ago. I think,
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yep. Or maybe even less. Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong one. But you're right. These that's where all the other ones are at, and all sales happened after 2016, May 2016.
Cool cover though. Artistically, it's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
I like it a lot, so maybe I'm just influenced by that.
It's
I
a cool
like
cover.
Swan. All right, on to something a little different. John Byrne FF254 cover. This one went for $50,400 as well.
Mike?
On that one.
Well, I don't collect Byrne that much, but I thought this went for around what it would have went. I think a lot of the hardcore Byrne people don't care for this cover, but it has everybody on it, so that should be, to me, that's about right to me.
I thought it went
that popular or anything like that, but you got all 4 FF on it, and it's a cover.
It's not my favorite cover, but it's what I thought it was.
Yeah.
I will tell people, and I've said it before, I know this sounds not a total knock on Heritage, but I think in person this cover probably looks a lot better, because I tell them, like, I just sold a piece on my website. The guy goes, Mike, I need to make sure. I saw the image on Heritage, and I see the image on your website, and on your website the colors look so much better. It was a color piece now. And I go, trust me, my piece is what it looks like. I said, Heritage uses flash photography. They use lights when they snap a picture. And I bet in hand, those blacks don't look that faded. I bet you it looks a lot darker in hand, looks better. But to me, the marker looks funky. It makes the cover not look as good. But I bet you in hand, the actual art probably looks a lot better.
I think that's markers. I think it's ink. It's just the way it was done, and just.
What I'm saying with their the way they scan them, I think that the actual piece is darker than what this looks. That's all.
It's not markers. It's actually.
But I think he watered down his inks or something like that, because it's just they're not as dark as they could be. That's
the way he applied the inks.
Right. But I remember somebody telling me that sometimes the artist would water wherever. Don't ask me. Water down there.
No, that's just how his inks are on solid blanks.
But I'm just saying, I bet you the actual art looks darker. That's all I'm saying. I would bet.
But yeah, I mean, they're
great image.
They just use a camera to take it. They don't scan anything. So
right, and I know Rick Danny's made a good point. A lot of times you'll see the same on like a lot of Mignola artwork is the same way. The arcs, the inks aren't as dark, but they are permanent inks. So
yeah, well, Mignola when he did it, he purposely trying to, have like little white spots in it. I mean, he did it purposely. But this one isn't. I mean, just the ink just dried differently. That's all.
Right.
It's not markers. It's actual ink.
No, it's in the ink. Right. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
All right,
But
on to it went for what you expected. That's good. Like Larry said, it's like, how does this sell for less than the Buscema Wolverine? You just, it's back to somebody like the Wolverine a whole lot more. At the end of the day.
Yeah, whatever you like more. That's all.
Yeah, it's all what we collect,
Exactly. And we have another Jim Lee. What if volume 2, number 13 cover? This one sold for $48,000. So what if Professor X had become the Juggernaut? It's a twist of a tale.
And this is right around. Is this around 1990? This issue?
It's 1990. Yep.
1990. Okay.
It's an earlier cover by Jim.
Right before X-Men. Yeah. I mean
Yeah.
the run of X-Men.
Yeah, I thought it went pretty. I thought it went cheap. I thought it should have went higher. Did I bid on it? No, but I thought it would have. If it went for 60 or 70, it wouldn't have surprised me. I thought it went cheap.
No.
That's
You're a Juggernaut fan. This is your cover.
Yep.
It's a great looking cover.
All right where it's supposed to be.
Nick? No, nothing, Nick?
No, listen, you guys are saying everything I would say.
Yeah.
I think
We'll hit his sweet spot.
it's within the sweet spot, but I would not have been surprised if it went higher. Like you said, it's 1990. It's right as, everybody's just loving Jim Lee. It's at the right time. And I thought, on this one, the sky could have been the limit. I think it did a really good price. And I wouldn't have been surprised if it did go for a lot higher. There's a lot. The thing is there's 700 lots in this auction. Not everybody can bid on everything. So
plus the Ghost Rider went so high too. This was like the little brother to me to the Ghost Rider.
Right. But this is also what if, and the only thing I'll say is the first What If series to a lot of collectors our age had more meaning. Now I know what I keep saying is that the 90s had a different audience. But I don't think What If meant the same the second time around. The first time What If happened, you didn't have What If type stories, deviations. By the time the second What If series happened, some of the stuff, some of the deviations kind of weren't that as different or as meaningful anymore because so much more had happened in the Marvel comics by that point. So.
Well, this one to me, you're just buying because of the content.
Right. And
because of remembering the story.
Who inked this?
Jim.
Is this pencil and inks, Albert?
Yeah, it's all Jim.
That's all Jim. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
As I said, Williams, you could tell a little bit more detail when Williams inks them, But great cover.
Moving right along, you get a Simon Bisley, Lobo's Back, number 2 cover from 1992. This one went for $45,600.
What a sexy back, huh?
Lobo's Back. Yeah. 1992. So there you have it. Another Lobo. Yeah, I love Bisley's artwork, but that's
Well, this is Shibo, right? Isn't this?
Yeah, I said you're not getting true Bisley Lobo there, but interesting. I'm, in my opinion, the buyer must have bought it just because they loved that miniseries, because that miniseries was great. So
it was really good.
But this is the worst cover in the bunch.
I thought so.
For many reasons.
Actually, agree with Mike. I can't believe it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Miracles can't happen.
But a great story. So
I really can't wait to see you two at Dueling Dealers. I really can't wait. This is going to be.
We're gonna have a grand old time.
Sure.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a sight to see. That is for sure.
Albert, remember you have to bring some pieces under $3,000.
Really? Well, I sent him the price list today. He knows what he's got to do.
There will be some Jim Lee doodles in there. Don't worry.
$500. Jesus, I don't know if I can find anything. Anyway.
All right. So this is a Maurice Everett, Bill Everett, Daredevil 67 cover. One of my all-time favorites. and this went for $43,200 from 1970.
Again, strong price, but I mean, Everett's inking just knocks this one out of the park, boy.
It's beautiful, and I think I was offered this a little bit over a year ago for like 32.
Yeah.
And by the time I got around to it, they pulled it and said, "Now we're just going to put it in auction." I was like,
you know something just really cool. I've stared at this cover 100 times, and I just caught right behind Daredevil's back. She wrote 7 and then the EV for Sev. I just noticed that for Marie Severin.
Oh, wow.
Cool. Sev. I didn't even catch it till just now.
It is a beautiful cover, and
Just
you're
how
right.
she added that in there. But the Everett inking on this is just unbelievable.
Great piece.
Great cover. Yeah.
Cover. Whoever got it got a really good, nice cover.
Yeah. I mean, you can't go wrong with this one. It's just a great cover. Everett's inking just makes this look like an Everett pencil ink cover. But great piece.
Yeah.
All right. And another John Byrne. This was that pinup from issue 250. It sold for $43,200 as well.
Go ahead.
I really thought this will go higher than the cover.
And that's what I was just going to say. Most people I talked to felt this was far superior to the cover, and yet it sold for, I think, $11,000 less.
Yeah, which I was surprised. I thought it would go higher.
Yep.
This is a great piece.
Agree.
I much prefer the piece than the cover.
Yep.
It's a great piece. It's an anniversary issue. It's stunning and meaningful. So, I mean, it went for a good price. Don't get me wrong, but I can also understand why you're saying you thought it would go for more than the cover. But the cover did have action to it. It did have a battle. So, but this is beautiful. If I had if I had the money and the choice between the two, I would rather have had this as well.
I agree.
Well, you definitely, Nick.
Can you put Rich Danny's comment up, Bill?
Let's see. I'm trying to watch. Stan would have signed it.
Buddy.
Stan would have signed it. Yeah, that's probably right. It's either there or on Reed's thigh. One or the other.
Probably Jack would have signed it right there too.
Oh man.
Yes.
But a great piece. That's a great piece.
And it's a great piece. I thought it should have went higher than the cover.
Yeah,
I thought it was better.
Me as well.
All right, the Frank Miller Electra Lives Again, page 24 splash. This was $43,200 as well.
Well, what I'll say is I was surprised by the price. And because this page was only in the hardcover, it was not in the regular collection. It was only in the graffiti edition, which had 2,500 copies sold or 5,000 copies sold. So I will tell you, this was offered to me at 21,000, and I just couldn't wrap my head around it. And apparently, I was an idiot, considering what it went for.
Well, to me nowadays, nothing surprises you with Miller Daredevil.
My buddy bought this. Oh, he really loved this piece. So.
Oh, you know who bought it?
I thought it was gonna go, but my buddy bought it. So. If he loves it, he loves it. That's it.
If you like crosses and tombstones, this is the one for you.
Yeah, he definitely bought it.
And ninjas. It's a great piece. Nothing surprises me with Miller anymore.
And that's the reason why I had my hard time wrapping my head around it, is because there's no Daredevil, there's no Elektra. It's Matt, and it's a nightmare. I mean, it's Matt and a nightmare. So, and I just cannot wrap my head around that value. And look, you know what? Albert and I have this conversation often. You can't own everything, and and Albert and I have one different philosophy. Albert regrets anything he doesn't win or buy, and I regret anything I sell. So, You know, the fact that I missed out on this, I missed out on it. The fact that someone else who really loves it got it, that's karma. That's great. I'm glad somebody who loves it got it.
Yeah, my buddy really wanted this. It was not my favorite piece, but you know, he really thought it was a great buy, and he won. So more power to him. He loves the piece. He's going to keep it.
Yeah,
it was one looking for, so he got it.
And Miller's getting harder and harder to get every day. I mean, It is just this stuff. The Miller art right now, and maybe I should have taken this into consideration. Everybody who is buying Miller is not letting go of it. It is getting really, really difficult to get. And so, you know, the prices, when you look at last Heritage, what the other 2 pages went for, I think you had the 1 page, which was the Argent page, where he was fighting his father in a fever dream, and had the nightmare character there. And you had the one with the broken leg where he was outside the window. Those 2 went for $55,000 combined, 2 pieces. So I guess I shouldn't be surprised this went for $42,000. But it is a beautiful piece regardless. Like I said, my mistake, but it went to somebody who loves it, so that's a good thing.
Yeah.
There you go. I agree as well. And on to a John Romita Sr., Jim Mooney, Amazing Spider-Man, 75 page. This one sold for $43,200 as well. Mike, we always defer to you. You're the Spidey.
I'll tell you a funny story. Yeah, I'll tell you a funny story about this. I went to, in 1992, I met Jim Mooney through the Comics Buyer's Guide, and he says, I have the whole book, but I'm hanging on to it, and I'm giving it to my son. And I said, okay. And I go, well, if you ever want to sell it, let me know next year. He goes, my son needs money. Do you want to buy it? I go, yeah. And he goes, I want $3,000. I go, sold. So I bought the whole book from Jim Mooney for $3,000 back in 1993. But when somebody offered me, this is the first page I sold when I split up the book, and I sold it for a high price. I honestly don't remember the price, but I mean, it's probably like $5-8 grand. Somewhere around there, $5-8 grand, but way over a decade ago. And you know, I wasn't sure what this would sell for, but it's the climactic page of the entire story, where Silvermane gets, you know, the fountain of youth, and he realizes it keeps making him younger and younger until poof, he's gone. But to me, one of the climactic great pages from the story. So.
Yeah, and this page got marketed heavily as part of that Spider Steve or collection or something like that.
Yeah,
so
this was the part of that Spiders. I didn't even know. People know that. I guess I thought it was somebody selling a collection. Somebody told me it was because he passed away. I didn't know.
I don't know if he passed away yet, but when he was selling it.
Oh, okay. Somebody mentioned to me just a day or two ago, though. Oh, the person that was his collection, the family put in the auction because he passed away. I go,
okay.
I didn't know who Spider Steve was, to be honest. So
yeah, no. When they put the word out there, it actually was in the Hollywood Reporter, and a friend of mine approached about buying just the art, and the response was, "Which part of we're only selling everything together isn't clear?" And my friend was like, "Okay, okie dokie."
Well, they probably did the right thing putting it in the auction then.
Yeah. I mean, look, basically they wanted. It was one of those. It's worth $1.5 million. Don't talk to us for less than $1.5 million.
Oh, okay.
So, but it was every issue of Spider-Man and every appearance of Spider-Man that he bought, including like if Spider-Man's. If it was the corner box or if there was an ad with Spider-Man in it, it could have been any Marvel comic. But if Spider-Man was a part of it, he had it. And he had all these Spider-Man toys. But it was started at $1 million something, $1.2 million, $1.5 million. I can't remember exactly. Because when my friend told me, he was like, yeah, they said, which part of it's all or nothing don't you understand? I was like, all right. So, by the way, public service announcement. Hit like, not enough like.
Yeah.
But a great Romita Mooney page, so.
There you go. I agree. And you know what? We got to move through some artwork here because we're fast approaching the 2 hour mark.
Do like 15, 20 seconds a piece so we can get through a bunch more.
We should.
If we can.
We'll see how many we can get through. But yeah, I don't want to keep everybody here too long. But I knew we were going to talk more about the art tonight, so that's been fun. But this is another Romita Senior piece. This is Incredible Hulk 203. This one sold for $42,000.
Yeah, I was the winner of this one. So.
This is all you, Mike.
Well, Romita only drew the cover to 202 and 201, so I just said I had to have it, so I bought it. So this is one of only 2 Romita covers, the 202 and this cover. So obviously I'm going to try to get this cleaned. So that's about it.
Yeah, I could use a little bit of that, I guess, but very classic Hulk image there.
I love it. I love John's Hulk immensely. So he
have some.
You need some Windex to clean it up. If he drew it on glass, oh wait, that would erase the ink.
And was this on vellum, Mike? I mean, I didn't really read this.
I don't even know.
Oh, God.
I don't even know. I just knew I had to have it.
All right, well, there you have it.
Read the description, Bill. I know the 202 cover was on vellum.
Okay.
That I bought from John.
It's a $500 or $600 cleanup job.
Yeah. Not so bad.
I
actually hope it was on vellum because vellum cleans up a lot better than board, believe it or not.
It does, and Mike, I thought you got a good buy. I thought it should have went higher.
Yeah. I just love Romita's Hulk, and again, there's only 2 in existence, and this was the second one, so I had to have it. So,
I mean, should have really pushed you up.
You could have. I would have bid whatever it took, 50, 60, 70, 80. I didn't care.
I was watching this. I was like, oh, it looks like Mike's going to get a real deal. When it was at 20, it was like
it was slow, and then somebody else started bidding me up. Somebody, I'm not going to mention names.
Save it for dueling dealers.
I can tell everybody it was not me.
It wasn't me.
And there was no harpies. I thought it'd go for more with harpies. Yeah.
Oh God! Next.
Next. Next. All right, a peanut strip. I don't know why I put this one in here. We should move on from peanut strip, right, guys?
Yes.
Great piece.
It is a great piece. It was. It went for 40,000. Museum quality.
Yes.
And I threw a Turner in here just because, I haven't seen, not. Yes,
I can't explain these. You go, Albert.
No, I can't. I thought that was you, Mike. Okay, Nick.
This is a Nick one, I think. It's $40,000 plus on this one.
When was the last time you saw Turner in auction? I mean, again, no matter what. Look, Mike was one of the most popular and one of the nicest guys around. All the fans loved him. And, he came into prominence in late 90s. And some of those guys have a lot of money right now. So you've got his signature characters here. It's 2 covers, right? It's either a wraparound cover or 2 connecting covers. It's almost impossible to get. So, I mean, listen. The guy passed away too young, 14 years ago? I mean, the artwork's just going to go up in price. I feel like
he has a very solid fan base, that's for sure.
Yeah, this was a good value. Whoever got this got a nice, fair value. They didn't get a deal, but they didn't overpay either. It was right in the right range.
No, that's what I was expecting, just from the Turner market.
What is this?
This was the, let's see, it was Fathom, the definitive edition wraparound cover. So maybe a collection cover.
So it's a Phantom.
Yeah, it's Fathom. So keep in mind, even if you look at the Kickstarters that Aspen has been doing lately, they're all taking in over $100,000 collecting and reissuing Mike's art. The fan base is there. So this is a beautiful piece.
Yep, I agree.
Sure.
On to a George Tusca Iron Man number 40 cover. This one went for $40,800 as well.
Again, for Tusca, I thought artistically this is one of his nicer covers. I thought it was a great image-wise, it's fantastic. Who was his inker on this, Bill?
It was Giacoya.
I was guessing Giacoya. Okay. Beautiful art cover, And like I said, these have been in the 20 range for a while, and now they made their jump, What are you thinking, Albert?
Yeah, sure made a jump.
It did, yeah. I said these have been selling in the 20 range for a while, and
at max 30, I was surprised at 40. Okay,
yeah.
Not like nothing's out there for sale, so sure, I can see it.
Right.
Not my favorite,
well,
but
as we know, there's a few hardcore Iron Man collectors.
Yeah, there's a lot of Iron Man guys out there, so there you go.
Great looking cover, though.
Yeah, it's a good cover.
All right, Marshall Rogers and Terry Austin. This is Doctor Strange 52 cover from 82. It sold for $40,800 with the juice as well.
That's a beautiful cover.
The Marshall Rogers covers, I really like this cover a lot.
Yeah.
I did not bid on it.
I was just going to ask.
I was not the underbidder, but I thought this was a really cool cover. I really like this cover. I remember when it came out. I really liked this cover. I thought it was a very strong cover. I don't see anything wrong with it selling for $40,000. It's a good cover. It's a really nice cover. Marshall Rogers didn't do many Doctor Strange covers, so this is one of the few. It's a great cover.
I think it went for the right price, but I also think the sky was the limit for this. I think the market could be. Who knows what the market could be for Marshall Rogers Doctor Strange or Paul Smith Doctor Strange? I mean, as these come, look, these pieces are coming out because of some of the prices being realized, and as they're coming out, people who miss out the first time will go higher the second time. So it's stunning. I love it. Nightmare coming out of there. It's beautiful. So
yeah, I really like this. Mike, you bid on this, right? Didn't you?
I did not.
Oh, okay.
I threw this one in there. I guess we can skip it because it's a 22-page story that sold for $38,000. J. Lee Hellshock.
Don't even get me started on that. that flipped me out.
Oh, that's you never been on this, didn't you, Nick?
I went after it. Yeah. Did you go after it, Albert?
Albert, did you go? It.
Okay.
I didn't bid on it. No. But
these stories went high to me, but Nick explained I'm not familiar with the character, so.
Right. There was another one that was a 14-page story that sold for just over $33,000 as well. So, yeah. I don't know.
It's out there. I mean, it's great work by Jay.
Well, a lot of people really like this period of his work. So,
oh yeah,
it does not surprise me.
It was a very strong period for Jay.
It was. No, look, going into the live auction, it was $77.50 for number one and $75 for number two, and I went into it going, all right. Hopefully, these won't go higher than $15,000 each because this is some of my favorite Jay period. And then all of a sudden, it exploded and it just jumped to over $30,000 each. It's like,
yeah, it went really fast. Yeah.
Yeah. And then on the second one, and I'm glad I didn't win it because I got so pissed that I couldn't even bid on the first one. I was the underbidder on the second. And I'm like, after I hit sell, I'm like, what are you thinking? You can't afford that. I was like, oh my God, thank God somebody outbid me.
Yeah, that's it.
What'd you say?
I said, sure, you can afford it. It's just that you don't want to pay it. That's all. But yeah, it went really high. The second one went really high. It was higher than I thought the Jay Lee stuff would go for. Yes, and it's a great period for Jay, but I think I like the Inhuman stuff more.
The Inhuman stuff is great. Look, the one thing that we're not seeing is the women, and what Jay did really well is beautiful women. And I'm not asking to show the pages. Everybody can go look at it later on Heritage. But when you see the pages of the women, they are drop dead gorgeous. and it's part of the style that people love. I mean, look, on a lot of levels, this first Hellshock series, because the first Hellshock series and the second Hellshock series were two totally different stories. The first Hellshock series, story-wise, was not as good as the second one. So, but this was his first creator-owned book. This is Jay right after Namor, right after Youngblood Strikefile, right after Wildcats trilogy. So this is something people love. And look, I also looked at this partially, all cards on the table, as a business expense, because then I could work with Jay to turn this into a definitive trade paperback. So, but again, when I had that knee-jerk reaction for number 2, there was no point because I didn't win number 1. So would have been hard to make a collection at that point. So
Yes, it would have.
All right.
All right.
Well,
Hitting on
could have
another
went
one.
to Heritage and go make scans of it.
Oh, that's
No.
true too.
I actually was very fortunate. Jim helped me with it.
Okay,
So-
there you go.
Yeah, he was very kind.
All right.
Another
Go ahead,
burn
Albert.
FF.
Say it.
Last
Say it.
FF cover.
Go ahead, Albert. Say it.
No, I was not the underbidder on this, but I was wondering who bought this Hitler cover. That's all.
That's Albert's whole thing. Who wants Hitler art?
So I was like, who the hell can hang this up on the wall? Mike?
What's
Any
that?
I don't
Oh, who
think
would
it
put
would
this
be
on their wall? Well, they're
Wasn't
trying
me.
to kill him at least.
right there. Yeah, exactly. They are. That's the point. They're trying to get rid of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nick,
Well, Nick Fury is at least.
I
The
had
other
a
three
Jim
are
Lee
trying to get.
splash. I had a Jim Lee splash that had Hitler on the toilet, and that was one of the most requested piece I ever had for Jim. I mean, everybody wanted that Hitler on the toilet on this one splash page he did, and they just wanted that piece. And
All right.
I had like maybe 50 or 60 orders in that one piece. Everybody said, "Are you going to get the splash? Are you going to get the splash?" And I just said no. Jim gave it away, but they like Hitler in the toilet. I'm not sure if they're going to like Hitler doing that salute there.
Look, this is the last cover that John Byrne drew. I thought it should have went for more money. I thought this fell between the cracks because there was so much Byrne. But I think this should have went for as much as the other cover went for. But again, there was a lot of Byrne being offered, and a lot of people liked the fact that this was the last cover. And I went after this cover. I wasn't the underbidder. I was praying that it really fell between the cracks, but I knew that there was no chance. But it is the last Byrne FF cover. And to me, that's what was the cool thing about it. I mean, I know a lot of people don't care that She-Hulk was a part of it, and then there are people that love the fact that She-Hulk was a part of it. But I think whoever got this got a little bit of a nice deal. It's in the comfort range, but I would not have been surprised if it went more than the other cover. But that's just my 2 cents.
So what did it go for again? This one?
it went for $38,400.
Yeah, I thought what went for what it should have gone.
Yep. I agree.
Yeah, I mean,
Keep in mind, the other cover only went for $44,000. We're not talking about that much of a difference.
yeah, that cover was actually, doesn't have Hitler on it. This was really tough to hang up on your wall. Tough to explain to people when they come by your house and say, what is this? I don't know. What do you think?
Do we move on?
I
Yeah,
think the other cover.
On to the next image. It's Romita Senior Captain America 148 cover with the red skull on it.
yeah. This was in my collection for the longest time. I threw it in Heritage a long time ago. It sold for nothing, and so whoever bought it put it back up for auction. I tried to win it back, but I did not win it. But I always liked this cover. I always liked the sleeper covers. I thought it's a cool cover. Unfortunately, it's the back of Cap, but I always liked this cover.
What did it sell for again, Bill?
Same as the last one, $38,400.
38.4.
Yeah, I think it's
I own this one.
17,000 or something like that, or 18,000. About maybe 10 years ago.
I owned it way before that, and I could not sell it because it was the back of Cap. But I had it when it was like $4 or $5 grand.
It has Red Skull on it. I thought that was cool.
Yeah. No, it's a great image.
cover was cool. You know, I like the stuff with Sleeper on it. You know,
Right.
yeah, it's the back of. You know, I like the cover.
It's a beautiful cover.
38 is pretty. I thought it was a very fair price. If you told me it sold for 50,000, I wouldn't have been surprised. You know, it's Romita and all.
Yeah.
Right, Romita, man?
Hey, can you put up Chris Snorrick's comment, Bill?
America's ass. Yes, there you go.
But not Chris cakes.
You
Yeah,
joker. No, Marcus Y did it first. I'm sorry.
Yes, one wide button. Yep, there you go. Everybody's commenting on
Oh, is that above it?
Sweet cheeks, yes. Buttocks, not Chris Evans cakes. All right,
You
yes.
kids. You crazy people, you.
On to the next artwork. Because we did just hit the 2-hour mark.
Okay, I don't know. What did this go for?
This was the Sal Buscema Daredevil 89 cover. This one went for $37.2.
Yeah,
that's overpriced. But anyway.
I think so too. I mean, at least you got Electro, which is a great villain, and some of the other guys. But wow, yeah, I it's just a new era for covers now, boy. Wow.
Yeah, I would have thought. Here's the thing: I would have thought this would have went more in the 25 to 28,000 range, all in.
That's what I was thinking.
But Sal art is popping right now. Sal art is going up really quickly, and you know, just he went for years of being underappreciated. And now it's just going up in price faster. It's going up in price faster than I would like because I love his Submariner and I love his Daredevil. So, you know, everybody stop buying Sal.
I guess Nick has a ton. Anyway, go ahead.
Nick has a what?
I guess Nick has a lot of Sal art.
I have some.
Yes, okay. All right, let's keep going.
Eisner piece. This one went for $36,000. A 7-page story.
I was going to say that was a story. Okay.
Were you?
I was the underbidder on this one. I thought it went cheap. I like the story. I thought it was a really good story.
Yeah, I know this one as well. I had a feeling Albert would have went after this one.
Yeah, I bid 29. The guy bid 30, so I went for 36,000. I was the underbidder. I thought it was a good price. I like the story.
Beautiful image. Lots of bricks on this one, everybody.
Lots of bricks. Oh yeah, that's right.
Bricks
Sorry, I forgot.
If you like bricks, yes, for sure.
Very cool.
Yes.
Gil Kane, Thor 239 cover, inks by Dan Adkins. This one sold for $36,000.
Yeah, I thought that went pretty high.
Yeah, that was a really strong price.
Yeah, again, 2 years ago, this is like 12 to 14 2 years ago, you know?
Yep.
It's just amazing the prices.
Yeah.
Yes, for 12, maybe 15 max. Yeah.
Right.
Maybe 18
That's what this is 2 years ago. Yeah.
But not that I don't know.
But just a great story image.
And I hate to say it, but Thor's face is the worst drawn part of this cover.
I don't think it's that bad.
I don't think it's that bad.
I didn't say it was bad. I'm just saying it's everything else looks better. But yeah, I mean, I thought it went for a really strong price. But
that's how Adkins inks Kane. Yeah. So
face, you know. Well, I don't know. Is it? Maybe somebody might have doctored it, but I don't know. It's okay face, you know. But I just thought it was overpriced. But okay.
Wow. Like we said, the overpriced today is a deal tomorrow.
Exactly. You know, if you would have bought this for $18,000 2 years ago, you'd be sitting pretty today.
Yeah. Agree.
But
yes.
Here's another Romita Senior piece, Amazing Spider-Man Annual Number 3 page. This one went for $36,000.
I leave that to be Mike comment.
Well, you know, I've had a lot of, you know, these are the Romita layout. Heck, pencil ink, but Romita did do most of the Spider-Man is Romita. I remember I've had several pages of this story. They actually said that Romita would draw the Spider-Mans and they'd actually give the rest of it Don Heck, and Don Heck drew the Avengers. But you know, the key part about this is it's one of the most classic pages from the story, and I didn't think it would go that high, but it did because it's twice up. And that's why, Spider-Man joining the Avengers is just a classic story. Trying to join the Avengers, I should say. But like you could tell, the Thor is clearly Heck. It's interesting. I always wondered back then how they would have done it. Like, hey, give the page back to Romita to finish Spider-Man. Hey, give the page back to Heck to finish the Iron Man. Hey, give the page then to Esposito to ink because he inked both of them, So it was an interesting collaboration that they had Romita doing the Spider-Man images and Heck doing the Avengers images.
Yeah, no, you can tell it's like Captain America and the Iron Man. It's pretty clear where it's at.
So then Romita going back to touch up Spidey, and he's in his first year still drawing Spider-Man. This came out right around Spider-Man 42. Romita's only had been on Spider-Man for like 3 issues when this game happened. So, but it's just again, this is like more of a content page, and you can never say this is vintage Romita or vintage Heck. It's just a great content page, That's all. Very historic, early. But I was surprised the price so high. But again, it's because it was twice up, and there's just very few twice up Romita Spideys out there. When you consider the page from Comic Connect, Spidey 39 page sold for $116,000. 33 for that seems like a decent deal. So
I skipped over Romita Senior Spidey page since we were just looking at one.
Yeah, that's fine.
And we should be wrapping up soon. But this is another Jim Lee Marvel Age cover. This one went for $36,000 as well.
Now, what year is this?
This is really early.
1990. Yeah, 1990.
Okay, that's what I thought. I know it's before the run.
Yeah, it's a really early cover by Jim.
Cool image again.
It went for I'll say it went for higher than I wanted it to go for, because I actually my phone. It went for higher than I apologize, and I apologize for cursing. I really liked it. I didn't like the Submariner as much, even though he's my favorite character. But I really liked it, and then I wasn't surprised that it went for this. I mean, you've got Wolverine and the Punisher, and for a lot of people, I would have thought this could have even went for more money. Yeah,
you're promoting the new titles, so it's I think those Marvel Age books should get some love when they show key stories and books before they come out in the regular titles. So.
Well, it's promoting the new title, but it's also right after the Comic Link auction where that splash went for $76,000. So I thought that threw all the bets in the air about what this could go for. Like I said, my biggest interest was because it had Submariner, though having Wolverine and Punisher was cool too. But I wasn't, I was praying it would fall between the cracks. But when it comes to Jim Lee, he doesn't fall between the cracks. So it went for a good price.
Well, that Comic Link piece, I mean, it was a page that a lot of people remembered. So
yeah,
that's why it went so crazy. But
it did. But all I'm saying is it helped drive this.
Remember this Marvel Age as much as that splash. So you got to remember what fans bought at the time. So that's I kind of could see what that splash went for. This one was a little high, but it went for what I thought it would go for.
Mm-hmm. Only thing I'm saying is that would have fueled this to go for higher money regardless. That's the only thing I'm saying. I'm not trying to compare the two by artistic execution or remembering which is better. I'm just saying that went for so much money. It's easy for people to justify and say, you know what, I'll pay extra for this. I can get something that's a cover. I couldn't get that. So that's all I'm saying. We can move on. I'll shut up.
Yes, please. Okay. Next one.
Next one. Well, I'll say, okay, this week we just talked about that one. This one is the Zek, right?
That sold strong, very strong,
really strong.
Right. This one went for $33,600. This was from the Punisher Limited Series number 4.
Yeah, a lot of these haven't come up for auction in a while. I was shocked. Again, Albert, I'll tell you. 2 years ago, this is like $5,000 to $7,000. And sold in the 30s.
I'm shocked. This was
me too.
This isn't even a very strong page, but anyway, it's it went higher than I thought it was going to go for. But hey, somebody really wanted a Punisher page.
Well, it's a Punisher page. It's the final. It's the
limited series is sought after.
Yeah, but it's also the final fight scene with them, and Jigsaw and all of his men are wearing Punisher costumes. I think it went strong. I still think it went. Obviously, a few people really found this memorable, but Yeah, I was surprised at how much it went for.
Bill, what did it go for again?
This was $33,600.
I mean, Mike, you could have bought a portfolio plate, pencils and ink by Mike Zack, a big giant drawing of Punisher for $15,000, right, Mike?
Yeah.
At a website, $15,000.
But maybe not anymore. Maybe not anymore.
I'm just saying it was $15,000.
Right.
Mike?
No, I know.
Just a year ago. I mean,
Right,
and that's like
right.
a big up of Punisher. I mean, I don't know. It's just all right. Anyway, all right, let's go.
Chuck Costas was happy with that sale. Unless he was trying to buy it. Yeah.
All
Do we have
right.
many? Oh, I'm about 9% of my battery.
Well, I was just gonna say we're already at the 2 hour and 10-minute mark. So
You want to just clip through? I mean, we can each make like a 15-second comment or so.
Or a 5-second comment.
or a 5-second comment, right? I'll go through a few here and then we can call it an evening. This was a Corbin. This one's
Albert.
Yeah, this is an Albert one.
No feel. I'll say no
like
feel.
to put it, it went for a fair price. I mean, what it went for? 20,000.
33,600.
Okay, it went higher than I thought, but you know, I'm not a big fan of it, but somebody wanted it really bad.
Yeah.
Okay, on to the next. Go
Go on.
next one. Next one. This one
Next.
really.
Yeah,
This one
Superman one.
This one really went really high, but I had this piece and good for whoever sold it. It went really high. With just Destiny on it, but good for whoever sold it, and congratulations to whoever bought it. Okay, next one. I know Mike doesn't give a crap about this.
No, not at all.
Okay, Mike, go.
What did that? Well, I sold this for 21 grand a couple years ago. What did it sell for?
This sold for 28.8.
Okay, so
Ditko from Amazing Spidey 25.
the Spider Slayer story where she's trying to help out Spider-Man. Yeah, it's probably the worst page of the book, but you know, good character page with Jameson and them. So, but
Yeah, Betty Brant. It's nice.
Yeah.
Okay, next.
No, we already talked about Romita Senior Spidey enough. haven't we?
Yeah.
Here's
Schomburg. Yeah.
This
What's the
one went for
30?
Yours?
28.8.
28. Okay.
You
Okay.
didn't get this, Mike?
No, I didn't like the content on it, so it didn't interest me.
A woman in her knees scrubbing? I thought that.
Here we go before somebody says something wrong.
Yes, moving over to the next one here. It's Kirby and Ayers FF number 10 page. This one sold for 28.8.
Beautiful
price.
page.
Price.
28,000.
Sort of like Little Origins, talking about their powers and all that.
Yes, it's a very strong. I mean, I like the page transformation. I thought it was a good page.
That's that's the best part of it. So price,
I just think how interesting is this auction that it took us this long to get to like the second Kirby piece in an auction. You know what I mean?
yeah, right.
That's what's amazing.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
Before this, it's unbelievable.
Right. Oh, the third piece. I'm sorry, because we had the Esquire, the Avengers 1, and then this. Yeah.
Next,
yeah. Oh.
another Marie
Nick,
Severin.
you
This
buy
one's
Nick.
Nick,
I did not. But considering I thought it would go for higher. Considering where Submariner covers have been going lately, I didn't even go after this because I just thought it was going to go for well over 30. I thought it was going to go in the 35 plus range.
Well, it went just
Mike?
below, right? Fantastic.
yeah, 27,600.
Yeah,
Fantastic image.
it is.
Okay.
And honestly, I like this better than last auction's Romita cover. I mean, the last auction 61 cover was really nice, but I couldn't believe what that went for. So I thought this would go for a lot more. So I didn't even bother, but it still went higher than I would have gone. It's beautiful, though. It is beautiful.
Great image. Great backgrounds. Yeah.
All right, a couple more, and then we're going to call it a night. This was that Steranko Detective Comics 33 variant. It went for $26,400.
That's probably Albert to comment.
what me?
You own more Steranko than I do.
I'll tell you just a real funny story about this. A friend of mine in Australia goes, "Will you bid on this for me?" I go, sure. He goes, I'll bid up to 31,000. I go, you're going to get it. He goes, no, I won't. It's going to go higher. You're going to get it. Do you want me to bid? And he goes, no, don't bid. It's going to go higher. I said, okay. Then it goes cheaper. I go, you should have bid. So anyway, that was it. But this was drawn a lot later. What year is this? Is this from the 80s or something?
No,
No. This is
like 3 years ago.
Yeah,
see, I didn't even remember because it didn't interest me. So
2014, I think.
Oh wow, it is really, really, really new.
Yeah.
He kept saying he wouldn't get it. I go, you're going to get it. You're going to get it. It's new. I just didn't remember the year.
Yeah.
Well, he could have had it easy for 31 for sure.
Yeah, that's what I told him. So
Okay, next one.
Aquaman.
Wow. This one went pretty strong. It's a nice page. It's a great Todman page. It's a great page.
It's an important page.
Yeah.
It went strong, but it's an important page. By the way, the one thing I'll say is maybe it feels like we're going through a lot of artwork a little bit more slowly, but it's just the prices were so strong. We're probably going through just about as much artwork as
It's
before.
amazing how many we've gone through, and we're just getting below 30,000.
That's what I'm saying. The prices are that strong.
It's crazy.
Right. Well, that was,
You know, the last couple auctions we recapped, we got to 10 grand. You know,
right, I was going to say when we first started doing these a year ago, we would end around 2 hours and we would be in the 10,000 range.
9 to 10 range.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just this auction was strong.
Yep,
Yeah.
I think Nick Barucci starts talking too much. You know, just making.
Yeah, that could be the problem.
Oh, it's all Nick's fault, right, Albert?
That's why I'm never invited on again.
You're just fine.
All right, wait a minute. I'm going to skip over to something. Here, how about this one? This is the Mike Grell Green Lantern Green Arrow 110 cover from 1978, sold for $26,400.
I think it went for it's a beautiful cover. It's memorable. I would have pegged it at 18. I'm not saying it's not worth this, and it's worth it. Huh?
Mike, what do you think?
I mean, I was thinking this would go for 15 to 20.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought about 15. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the Alan Scott image.
Great image, though. Great image.
But it's still great. I mean, look, and again, these covers are going up. Grell is going up a lot when it comes on to Green Lantern.
I told you, Mike. I told you Nick can't shut up. Come on.
Great image.
White Indian. Yeah, Rich Jennings wanted you to say something about the White Indian by Frazetta. This is went for 26.4 as well, so 22,000 with the juice.
That went strong.
Yeah.
Albert, remember we had these for years for 7-8 grand. Nobody ever was even remotely interested in them. Remember?
Nobody was.
These were like the toughest Frazetta to ever move, other than John Wayne pages, and now they're getting their
low for $2,200. But now I guess.
Yeah.
White Indian, it sold very well. I remember when I had White Indian pages, I couldn't sell it for $7,500.
That was like tops for good ones.
Top flash.
Right. But like we say, it's a different era.
Everybody hit like. While these guys are talking about the old days, everybody else hit like.
Okay, Bill.
No, I gotta.
All right, how about one more? We'll do another Jack Kirby to end the night. This is from Cap 100.
Wow.
And this one sold for $25,200.
Strong price.
Look, it's the equivalent of a Captain America #1 when you go to Captain America 100. So,
but again, it's the first issue, and you got a nice Black Panther on it too.
Yep, and it's a good battle scene. It's well drawn. It's a classic villain, and like you said, Black Panther. I wasn't surprised that it went over 20,000.
But again, Albert, I'll tell you again. 2 years ago, this page is like 8 grand to 10 grand, maybe, right, Albert?
Yeah.
2 years ago, this is 8 to 10. It's amazing. I'm just saying the market has, normally people say market's double in 7 years. Honestly, market for this stuff has doubled in like 2 years.
On some
like covers and stuff like that. Yeah.
On some creators, yeah. I've got one question, Albert. Did you win the Frank Miller P. Craig Russell plate?
Yes.
Nah.
I
got nothing nice to say to you.
So you did win something, Albert. Yay.
I didn't make the list.
Hey, wait, no, I'll make you.
Is it on there? Because I don't even know what it is.
That was the last piece I actually. There we go. Right.
I won that. That's the
there you
thing.
Oh,
Albert,
that's a nice piece.
I'll give you a 10% profit.
No thank
Yeah,
you.
I didn't think so.
So
Oh,
this
go
is
back to the Howard the Duck. I won the Howard the Duck cover that you passed up.
well, we can talk. Let's talk about this one first. This was the Marvel Team Up portfolio piece, and it went for $18,000. So what? That's like
Super
15
cheap.
and.
Now, is this colored? Does the colors match up to what the published piece looks like? Or was it colored
I think
after?
it was black and white, Mike.
Oh, I didn't know. That's why so Olaf colored it afterwards, or who colored this?
I don't think they know who colored it, and I don't care.
Okay.
Pretty cool piece.
It's beautiful. It was probably my second favorite piece in the auction after the Submariner cover. Submariner and Daredevil cover were tied, the Severin and Everett. But this is beautiful. And I had a feeling it was you. I was like, I'm at 14.5. If I'm bidding against Albert, all I'm going to do is raise this for no reason. It fell between the cracks. This was definitely a piece that fell between the cracks. And to be honest, if me and Albert weren't going head to head, this probably would have went for 8,000.
Yes, thank you so much, Nick. I love you so much.
That's why I'm willing to give you a 10% profit. You tell you what, I'll make it 15%.
Pay like you won't believe. I tell you that much. For me, this.
You guys.
Anyway.
All right, so we'll end it on Mike's Howard the Duck cover here. Gene Cullen, Steve Leilua.
Well, actually, I bought them all.
Bought 'em all.
You bought them all. Okay.
Thank God neither of you wanted Jose Luis Garcia Lopez. I would have been blown out of everything.
Oh, that's right. Is next piece on there the Garcia Lopez DC?
I doubt it. It went for so little money. I doubt it.
I stopped at that Frank Miller piece.
Okay.
I didn't think we were going to get that far.
No, that's all right. That's fine.
I'm the amateur. That's all. It's all good. It's all good. We stick with the professionals on this show.
Well, but see, you were smart enough to stop when you realized you were probably bidding against Albert. So you may be an amateur, but you were pretty wise at that moment.
Well, he pushed me up for sure.
Yeah, like the Hulk cover, but I digress. Yeah.
In a few seconds.
But anyway, yeah, I'm speculating that Howard's going to take over for Rocket Raccoon soon on Guardians of the Galaxy, so I decided to buy this cover.
All right.
Well, I'm sure that.
I'm joking, of course.
Let me close this with this. If you have Howard the Duck art, call Berkey. If you have Corbin art or Frazetta, call Albert. And if you have JLA 200, Frank Miller art, any Daredevil by Bill Everett, Seven Submariner, and call me. But other than that, Bill, thanks for bringing me on board.
And you like Flash, too. Did you say Flash?
And the Flash, but this was really an honor. This was this was fun.
Well, I appreciate you guys taking the time out this evening to do it. Obviously, my first night back after vacation, so this was a nice welcome home party for me as well. Thank you, all of you, for doing that, and everybody for tuning in. We had over 125 to 135 people the whole time, so very good turnout. One of our strongest turnouts ever for a recap. So and we didn't even announce who were our two special guests this evening. So again,
you would have had less viewers if people knew it was me and Albert.
Oh, well, we'll
yeah, more comments.
I'm really sorry about this whole thing.
And everybody, don't forget, tomorrow night, 9 o'clock, Dueling Dealers, like Mike is saying. Mike's being too subtle. 9 o'clock, it's going to be Anthony is ready to come back from behind and beat Mike.
Anthony told me he's going to whip my ass tomorrow night, so we'll see what happens.
And Albert's battery just died on him.
Albert's battery just died.
Yeah, I remember he was down under 9%.
He was at 9% a little while ago.
Yeah, those iPads don't hold the charge very well. So with that's the perfect timing. We ended it at the right moment.
Yeah, everything worked out great. Nick, thanks for coming on, Nick. It was great seeing you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Likewise. And you have Dueling Dealers tomorrow. I've got Jordan on the show on Thursday. And then
looking forward to that. I am so looking forward to that. That's going to be awesome.
Yep, exactly. And not true, Marcus. Albert is always missed around here, my friend. So let's see. So and then Friday is my CAF update, where I hope everybody can tune in on that as well, so we can talk about the future of the channel and different things that I want to try and just get some feedback from people. And of course, Nick has his selling show. What is it, 7 p.m. on Fridays?
Yep, 7 to 8 on the
on the EXP. So definitely tune in for that as well before you check out the CAF update on Friday. So we'll see everybody tomorrow night. And thanks as always for tuning in. Next time we do this, we'll try to work through it a little faster next time. Now that we've got such high prices that we have to go through. Yeah. All right, everybody. Thanks again, Nick. Thank you so much.